Test.
Okay. Check. Got it.
You really can't hear yourself.
I can't hear anything. I have my headphones.
Can you hear? You can't hear anything?
No. I mean, I can hear you guys if I take my headphones off. I can keep my headphones off.
No. Put them on.
Okay.
I asked you.
I got it. Now I can hear.
Now you can hear yourself? All right.
All right.
What's wrong with you? Anyways, welcome to another episode of the Industry DJs podcast. My name is DJ T Kid.
I'm in the house doing like this.
Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode here of the podcast. You can check us out on your favorite streaming platforms: Apple, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, Stitcher, and the Anchor app. Check us out live every single Monday on Facebook Live at the Industry DJs, also on YouTube and Twitch at the Industry DJs.
Ladies and gentlemen, what is up? Help us welcome our guests for this evening. DJ Ryke in the building, ladies and gentlemen.
What's up, guys, man?
Welcome. No, thank you for being here, bro. This is awesome, dude. This is awesome.
It's a great setup you got here.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it, man.
It's about 800 degrees, but it's okay.
Hey, listen. I'm going to switch rooms, bro. I promise. I'll switch rooms, I swear.
All right, invite me back.
I have a real quick question for you, Al. Am I plugged in on headphones there?
I think so. Yeah, you are.
Number one?
You are number one.
Okay, I could barely hear myself.
All right, hold on.
I can hear you clearly.
Oh, that's too loud. Okay, that's fine.
Don't worry about it. I'll be your technician.
Well, I can't see from behind, so.
That's what she said.
Anyways.
Sorry.
All right, so yeah, everyone, please welcome in the room DJ Ryke with us.
Yeah, what's up, Mr. Ryke? Thank you for joining us, brother.
Appreciate you guys.
So, last week I want to thank who was on the show last week?
Really?
I'm trying to remember.
Nobody.
We didn't have no one on the show. It was just us.
It was just
us.
Bro.
Look, man, I have a.
This
my
is what
weekend,
happens when you DJ too much.
Exactly. My week
you got
goes
waterlogged.
My week goes by with a spin. That's what it is.
Your head spin.
Right. You know what today is though?
Today is the 100th episode.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Welcome, Ryke, bro. Thank you, man.
Man, I made it.
Yeah, right. 100th episode. Wow.
100 episodes with
Holy
this.
Shit.
With this one here.
Jesus Christ.
Never thought it would last that long. But
my wife said that same damn thing. We're 13 years in.
Wow.
Right.
Love you, babe.
100 episode here. So yeah, we it's been a journey with this one here next to me. So yeah.
It's been an awesome
Congrats,
journey.
Guys. Congrats.
Thank you very much. And you're 100th guest.
Yeah, man, that's awesome.
Do
I get like a trophy or anything? Do I get to bring one of these pieces of equipment home with me?
Yeah, you take the right. I don't have anything in my garage.
I'm gonna take this 4-track.
I was about to say that you can take that 4-track from behind you.
Yeah, for sure.
So, real quick in the live stream, we got Panther, we got Jesse, we have Danielle, we got Rick Guerrero, we have Numo.
What's up, guys? Thank you for stopping by.
Thank y'all so much for tuning in.
Yeah, for sure.
Those are my peeps.
Today we're gonna figure out the background about Mr. Ryke, the henchman.
Oh man, it's kind of boring, dude. You know, I started mixing, I stopped mixing, I started, and now I'm here.
Hey, started from the bottom.
Oh, we're done,
here.
right? All right.
No. No, you drove way too far to just do that, right?
Oh yeah, man. The show has to be a little bit longer than the ride, right?
Yeah, right. Alex, how was your weekend, my man?
Weekend was good. So because of the 4th on Thursday, I wasn't at Prestige. I was actually at
Hacienda.
I was at Hacienda.
See, I know your schedule.
Yeah, I was at Hacienda for 4th of July on the Thursday. It was good, and not only because it was the Cubs game that day, but people stopped by after the Cubs game, and yeah, it was a good time.
Packed. Looks packed.
Yeah, it was packed. It was packed.
Good job.
Yeah, and then Friday I was at Sway Bar in Schiller Park. Saturday I was at Club Escape.
Welcome back, by the way.
Thank you.
To the Schiller Park.
Yes.
Yeah, welcome back. It was your first time back.
It was my first time back there ever since the incident.
Was it weird?
It was a little.
Was it? Can we say ghostly?
It wasn't ghostly.
Okay. Nobody stopped to CDJ or anything?
No, it wasn't ghostly. People were slowly coming back. To Sway Bar. I guess what it is, and I was talking to Sway about it afterwards. What it is that, there's a lot of festivals going on, especially around that area. So people are gonna flock to that because to
the area. Stick around.
It's warm.
By the bar, by the home bars.
By the home bars.
Yeah. Not only that, NASCAR was downtown.
That
NASCAR
too. That
was
weekend.
crazy. I heard it was crazy out there, man.
Yeah. So that was that. Before I went to Sway Bar, shout out to Dave C. I went over to his house because
lucky you. Lucky you.
He had an issue
with the back cave.
He had an issue with his 3000. So
did you fix it?
Yes, I did.
Oh, you're the man.
I took a look at
update issue, right?
Yeah, I went over there, look at it, update the firmware on the 3000s because because they're going to be using it this weekend at 115 Bourbon Street.
Yeah.
No shit. Wow.
Yeah.
Hopefully they survive. If not, you'll be there.
I'll be there regardless. I don't know about you.
I'll be there. I'll be there. I'm going.
So so I went over to Dave C's Saturday, and then I went to Sway Bar Club Escape on Saturday, and then yesterday I was at Hacienda again. So another busy weekend for me.
Fucking Numo no Haktui.
Come on, Numo.
I love that, man. It's just funny, man. That girl's making a shit ton of money right now,
good
man.
for her, man.
I'm jealous, bro.
Good for her.
Wow. Yeah, good. Yeah. I guess so.
I spit China. Right. How was your weekend?
Ew, did you?
No, I did not. All I did was update the goddamn firmware on the damn mixer.
Why you use God and damn in the same sentence?
That's all I did.
All right.
How was your weekend?
It was good. It was real good. I had a private event yesterday for college graduates, which went pretty decent. Saturday I did a daytime. I was at Hugo Boss in in Oak Brook, and then after that I was over at Famous Freddy's, which was slammed. Man, we were.
I saw that,
packed, bro. Packed. It was dope.
I saw that. I can't believe you've never been there.
I have been there.
Oh, because that's
It's like my 5th time DJing there. What do you mean?
Your post said something like you've never been there or something like that.
What are you smoking, bro?
I didn't smoke anything.
I said, meet me there?
No. It was something on your Instagram.
Okay, sorry, man.
Saw.
This is something else. Anyways, Friday I was over at, the one in Skokie. Damn it, I just my mind blanked out. Village Roadhouse, thank you. Village Roadhouse, and then Wednesday I was over at Adobe, and then Thursday I was back at Adobe for fireworks in Rosemont, man, and that was slammed, dude. I mean, the whole park was, just ass to elbows. I mean, if you see the video, it was just crammed. Everybody was cramped watching those, and sometimes it's a hit or miss, because a lot of families go there.
Sure, yeah.
So we the late night, and me and the manager are looking at each other. He was like, "Bro, I hope we hit." And I go, "I hope we don't, so we can go home early." It's the 4th of July, man. I was like, fuck, but it hit, man. So we left there about 2:30 in the morning. And no, other than that, it was good, man. Got the boat back out, man. Took the boat out on Thursday for a little while. Hung out with the family on Thursday, and that was it. Hit the ground running, bro. Ryke, how was your weekend, my friend?
It was boring. And you guys had a lot going on. I don't have nothing going on. I was just relaxing. A holiday. I was off for a few days.
Because of the holiday.
So, yeah, the holiday was nice. And they had the neighborhood fireworks and stuff like that. So just kind of hung out at home. And, I didn't really do much, man. It was kind of a boring weekend. But I visited my daughter earlier today for her new job. She's a financial advisor for some things out there in Oak Brook for Prime America. So
that's awesome.
When checked her out and hung out with her for a little bit. So it was
maybe you guys should open up your own DJ firm.
Yeah,
DJ accounting firm. You never. Hey, there's a lot of guys that.
Firm?
Yeah, think about it. Think about it. For some of these guys, man, they need it. Trust me.
Oh yeah, dude. We were talking about that because there's a lot of GoFundMe pages out there or whatever. And everyone's always asking for money and like, well, if you guys work your money a little better, then we might not need that, So
who did that party? Somebody would say, damn, one of the old guests said that somebody did a GoFundMe page to pay rent because they didn't have rent money.
Oh, wow. I mean, it's hard for some people, man, but yeah.
Yeah, it's rough out there, man. But you know what? You got to be a go-getter. You got to go and get what you got to get, man.
I agree with that. Yeah.
It's survival of the fittest, my friend.
Yep.
The streets alone, just to get to your car and to your front porch, is survival of the fittest right now, man.
Yeah.
What was there? 87 shootings this weekend?
I didn't hear that one.
Sad,
yeah, 87 shootings.
There was a lot going on this weekend.
Yeah, 87
there was a lot going
shootings.
on with NASCAR and
87 shootings at like 9 dead. Yeah. And rest in peace to the young boy that lost his life. And
it's terrible.
that was, dude. That was definitely targeted. Definitely. Correct. What up, Fast Eddie? Rapido Eduardo, and it's not the rapper Fast Eddie. So don't get excited.
RS1, what's going on?
What up, RS1? What's
Gio,
going on?
what's going on?
Karina, what's up? How are you?
Before we start the show,
is that your daughter?
That's my wife.
Oh, it's your wife. Okay, sorry.
Real quick, before we start the show, this coming Sunday, Al. I don't know. Well, I
will be there, bro. All right, I will be there. I will be there.
But
listen, I'm healthy as a horse right now, and I ain't got nothing going on this Sunday, so we'll be there.
So this coming Sunday is going to be the Summer the daytime summer festival again over at 115 Bourbon Street. So then you got Bobby D, DJ Metro, Ted Spin and Shomer again, Gene Hunt, Mickey Mixing Oliver, Dave C, Chris Lara, Patrick Wayne, 3J, Ira and Myra, Lil Manny, all those good DJs. Everyone on that lineup is dope. So
you think?
Oh yeah.
So yeah. You think?
Got some good peeps on it.
Very good people. So yeah. So this coming Sunday.
You want to repeat those DJs one more time?
Later on.
Okay, cool.
So yeah,
I think their names are posted everywhere in Chicago. These are fucking, come on. So what's up, Sue? What's going on?
DJ Knockout?
Oh shit, Mr. Knockout. Hey, bro, he's every time that guy fucking hits the studio, bro, he just be pulling out some shit. Mm-hmm. His shit's dope, man. I like that new track he came out with Selena. That's dope. Did you hear it yet?
I didn't hear it yet.
Oh my god, dude, fire. If you guys haven't checked it, dude, not only does he battle DJ, he's also a badass, badass remixer, man. So it's definitely that's awesome. That's awesome. Ryke, you remix too, right?
I do, yeah. I do a lot of my own edits. Most of the stuff that I play is my own edits.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I do some remix and some editing. And
where'd you get that, boy? You should get that drop. Where'd you get that from?
Where'd you get that? Yeah, I've been doing that since, honestly, since about 97, 98, I started working on SoundForge. Okay, and cool. A lot of the DJs back then used to come to me to help with their tapes and stuff, to do some editing, throw them on. I used to have like CD Architect, be able to track it up for their CDs and stuff like that. So I learned it pretty early on. Yeah, I still work on that. Whatever. I work on Logic now, mostly Logic and SoundForge as well too. Depends on what computer I'm on at the moment, because one's Windows, one's Mac. So,
holy shit, dude.
Yeah. I mean, I need a
picture. I need a picture so I can put it in your shrine, in my shrine over here.
Get out of here, man. So
fucking tape
the way I like to do it is because most of these tracks, a lot of people are playing the same tracks over and over, or whatever, and I just try to make it my own way,
Right, of course.
I kind of sound unique, I try to sound unique.
Well, you guys definitely do it. Yeah, you definitely sound unique. That's for damn sure.
I appreciate that.
No, we appreciate good DJs, man. Yeah, seriously. No, man. I mean,
yeah, that's the only reason that I like to do my own edits. Plus, I don't like to drag the tracks on, whatever. Mm-hmm. I don't want to do 1 minute mixes, but 3 minutes, 2.5, 3 minutes, and then have a nice break, whatever. Where some people just, have that skill to break anywhere and it still sound good. I don't have that skill. I like to break on a break, So
everybody's got their thing, everybody's got their thing.
I like smooth, transitions. So, so that kind of works for me.
That's awesome. So before the show, we were talking, man. Let's get a little bit of background about yourself, man.
Well, you want me personally, or you want DJ?
Well, you know what? We want to know Ryke, man. I mean, let's know about Ryke.
Okay, well, I went to high school at St. Rita. I started there my first year, 93, 94, and I got kicked out. But before I got kicked out, I was a fighter back in the day. Before I got kicked out, I went to school with DJ Doodat and John Break It Down Simmons.
Oh wow!
And we actually started DJing the same time. That was about that time, 93, 94. I came in and I met Doodat, whatever, and me and Doodat got a little closer because we were the new wave DJs. John Break It Down was all over the place. That guy's a great DJ, and so we would always talk like on the after the weekend come up, we go to school. Hey man, what records did you find this weekend or whatever, right? Because new wave's not easy to find.
No.
Especially a lot of the more abstract tracks.
Well, you used to be able to go to Coconuts and shit. Remember?
Oh yeah, man, Coconuts.
Dude, I'm so mad.
You go to Hot Jams and they want $300 just for Too Fast to Live. It's like, calm down, or whatever.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah, Andre used to jack up all those new wave tracks.
Damn.
So DJ International, you have Benji. He had tons of new wave. Razor Maids was my thing. Yeah, rest in peace, man. That guy was great. I used to go to his store and just listen to him for hours because he just knew everything. He was like a music encyclopedia. The guy was phenomenal.
Yeah.
So, but he had a lot, like I had a love for Razor Maids, one, because they were all colored tracks, kind of like the Serato track, discs. But I just liked all the different versions, Mm-hmm. When you're listening again to the new wave versions, or whatever, you're getting whatever was on the actual new wave single record, whatever. But the Razor Maids always have different remixes, right? Yeah. So, and a lot of people weren't mixing with the Razor Maids, so I would always try to do the Razor Maids because it sounded different, like I had. And then I would do my own edits where I'd have, two of the same Razor Maids, so I'd start towards the end of the track and then come back, whatever, and I would do live edits that way.
That's cool.
To try to have my unique sound, So, yeah, we would do that. It was, me and Doodat, we were talking back and forth. We got kind of close in high school, Found Image Productions back in the day. And we already had our group of people before I even went to high school. My buddy Leo, my buddy Rudy, Carlos, Jason, Ignacio, Andy Lopez, all them. And, so like I said before, my buddy Leo, he had this equipment. It was a Gemini BD10s with a Gemini Scratch Master mixer. And, yeah, so we would hang out in his basement watching Bulls games and stuff like that. And he ended up, having this equipment. So we're like, hey, man, if we just buy the records, I'm going to take these headphones off.
No, fine.
So if we buy the records, we can hear, full-length versions of the tracks, right? So when we're hanging out watching the Bulls games and stuff like that, and, man, I'm getting hot, dude. I don't feel good. So we would do, we buy the records, we go to Hot Jams, this and that, listening to the full-length records, and then all of a sudden we just started wanting to DJ. So we're listening to the mixtapes and all that stuff. We're trying to do, I'm not feeling good, man. Can you cut that real quick?
Yeah, hold on.
Well, the door.
Yeah. Oh, man, it's hot up in here. So, sorry about that, guys.
No.
So anyways, we would get we would start listening to the mixtapes and how to do these blends. And I'm like, hey, man, me and my buddy Rudy are like, let's try to emulate these blends, do the same things. So anyways, we started doing the blends, or whatever, and then it would kind of just self-taught basically from there.
Okay.
So, yeah,
kinda like me.
That's how that worked out with that.
Kind of like me.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it, man. I started getting a little hot in here.
No, because the sun goes down that way.
Yeah, no, it's all good.
It sucks, man. Trust me.
So.
Kind of like me. I got self-taught when I was DJing. When I started off, no one didn't help me. No, I'm serious.
Well, how old were you when you started?
Shoo, I was 18. Yeah, damn, fuck. I was 18 when I started DJing.
Okay.
So, and my mom told me that I should start DJing because I used to play CDs and all that stuff.
Okay, you didn't start off with vinyl then?
No.
Oh, you're a younger guy then.
I was younger. I used to download a whole bunch of CDs like from
Napster. You doing the Napster
yes!
stuff?
This was
awesome, man. I appreciate you.
This was Napster, BearShare, Kazaa. All
LimeWire, getting all the viruses on your parents' computers.
It was on the Windows 2000 computer.
There we go. Yeah, that's awesome.
That was on the Windows computer that we would start.
Overheat a little bit.
That was starting all that. But so yeah, we were DJing. Yeah, I started off DJing on my own. No one didn't taught me how to DJ. I pretty much learned how to beat match by myself and
awesome, man.
all that good stuff. And then
actually, this is actually picking up the fucking air from under the couch. I'm sorry, man. Oh, I got the air cranked, man. It's just like.
Oh no, I know. It's just a little warm. I overheat myself, so then sometimes even when I'm at work, man, I got a little fan on me.
Men go through menopause too, bro. I'm going through the same thing right now. Shut up, Alex. You'll be there soon, bro.
You'll
Shut
get
up.
there, man.
You'll get there, bro.
Don't be laughing at it.
Yeah, I get hot too, bro. Trust me.
I'm not
Dude, he's the only one that was. He dances like Jane Fonda behind the booth, and he sweats like a fucking horn church.
Dude, I usually dance a lot too when I'm playing.
A horn church, yeah. You sweat like a horn church, bro.
So, yeah,
or a guy going to jail for child support, whichever one you want to.
Oh shit.
Napster.
So yeah, that's how I got us started, or whatever. Just just trying to listen to the mixtapes, and then whatever records that we had from those mixtapes that were doing the blends, we tried to just do the same blends that way, and then kind of worked from there. And of course, every Chicago DJ starts off, with house music and classics and stuff like that, and. Me and my buddy Rudy, we were heavy into new wave. We love new wave.
I was about to.
Every time you say new wave, dude, reach out and touch me.
Oh yeah, dude, reach out and touch faith, dude.
Yeah, bro, that's the shit, man.
That's Depeche Mode there. So Depeche Mode is my favorite group of all time.
Really?
I was into the Cure. I really
love the Cure as well.
Bro.
Cure, Pet Shop Boys, Erasure. I mean, all of it's great. Celebrate the Nun. That's one of my favorite ones as well.
Oh shit! Damn, it's been a while.
Yeah.
Wow, man.
Be there, and she's a secretary, all that. So, and we would listen to the mixtapes from Rick Guerrero, and I would listen at the parties. Victor Salazar, Pablo Punca Gonzalez, Jesse De La Pena, Luis Segura, Miguel Martin. There was so many great new wave DJs at that time. And I would just, and I would listen to these guys and be like, wow, man. And then when you start to get to know them as well, and not only are they phenomenal DJs, they were just phenomenal men as well, Right. And anytime we would ask, any questions about, what's the name of that track, or where can I get this, this record, or whatever it might be, and they were always extremely helpful, and I was just really happy and humbled to be able to grow up with so many good people around me. Or whatever, to be able to help my career advance and giving me opportunities to play at certain places and stuff like that. It was great.
Now let me ask you another question real quick. Now, how does it feel to like listen to these guys and now work next to these guys?
Oh, it's awesome, dude.
Right.
I mean, yeah, like I said, when I first started, I'm listening to them, you know, and I'm like, man, you know, it'd be great to like, okay, 93 is when I started, you know, getting really into it, right? We went to Alcatraz to see Anything Box. And Alcatraz.
I was one of the residents.
Were you really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So and then you know Mr. Wonderful,
Yeah.
Jesse Dale,
Yep.
you know, whatever.
Those are all my boys.
So then we saw Anything Box, you know, or whatever, and I was young, dude. I was 14, right? So, you know, and then afterwards, you know, the front part, you know, the couches and stuff.
Yeah.
We were able to meet Anything Box, and I thought that was great, you know, or whatever. It was cool. And you're listening to Pablo and all that, and I was like, man,
Those death-defying stairs.
I want to be, I want to be a new wave DJ, you know, whatever. So then that's basically how it kicked off from there. And then again, like I said, we started at St. Rita, and then Do That, same, you know, style. You know, he was a new wave DJ as well, and he was getting into it. So we would talk about records, you know, different places to find them and stuff like that. So it was a nice beginning, man. And
That's awesome.
And then eventually, when I got my first gig, this was I can't remember the place. It was a cafe. It was on Pulaski, Half Moon Cafe.
Okay.
So and I believe it was Euro Productions that did it, Dave Soto and them. And I went over there, and some of the guys were there, and I'm sitting there. I was like 15, right? And I'm putting the needle on the record, my hands shaking, and you know, whatever. I'm nervous. All these guys are like, "Oh, you're doing good, man. You know, just relax, this and that." So, like I said, everybody that I was always around was really cool, really easygoing, and then to be able to, you know, start throwing parties, and we were booking those guys since, you know, we looked up to them. So we're like, hey man, if we're gonna throw a party, we're gonna throw, you know, Victor and Rick and all these guys on the flyer, because, you know, we want to be a part of that. And then they got to hear us play, and then they eventually, you know, kind of, you know, you put them on a flyer, they'll put you on. That's how it used to be back in the day. You know, scratch your back and scratch your back. So, you know, they started putting us on flyers, and then I just got lucky. You know, remember those Milwaukee Avenue places?
Yeah.
You know, Orbit.
Oh, wow.
Of course, the Orbit, you know, or whatever. That was probably the biggest one. I played there almost every weekend for like 2 years.
Wow.
Then you got Tequila Nightclub, the Logan Square Auditorium, Palladium, Tropicana, all of them.
Damn.
So we just started hitting all those places down Milwaukee. And
Yeah, I remember
was
you
fortunate
from back
enough
in the day.
yeah, pretty good from about 96 to maybe 99. Every weekend I was playing somewhere. And that was my younger years. You know, I'm talking about, you know, 15, 16, 17 years old. And then we started, like, I hooked up with Ray Rivera from Enlightenment Entertainment.
Yeah.
And then he hooked up with Frankie V from V5, so we started working closely with him. We were doing the House of Blues parties. So that was like Do That, me, Mode, Mighty from Enlightenment. And then they had Rick Guerrero, you know, Diablo, Pescado, all them guys from V5. And House of Blues parties were awesome. I used to love those. And then working with Frankie V from V5, he liked the way I play, I guess, you know, whatever. He was a cool guy. We always got along. So he was the one that actually got me to play at 21 and Over Club, the first one. I was 19. We were doing a spot. It ended up being Biology Bar, but it was called
Holy
Doc 5.
shit.
It was called Doc 5 at the time.
Oh,
all these venues ringing a bell back
yeah,
then.
dude, I mean,
you know what?
dude,
You know what just came to mind too? You did a set at Red Dogs, right?
Yeah.
I was there for that night, bro.
Oh man,
man. Oh.
Red Dog, Red 05, Victor. I mean, we can get into that.
Damn,
That was
I
even
remember
lit.
Red 05
Yeah,
shit.
Red 05 on Hubbard.
You were a
we
baby,
did
bro.
that.
Stop it. You don't
Halsted.
remember shit. You don't remember nothing, bro.
Remember
It was
Red
all a
05
dream.
on Halstead? Damn.
It was all a dream. You were a baby, bro. You were in a stroller when we were rocking that shit, bro.
No, I remember Red 05. It was like it was.
Oh, Red
Because you
05
read it.
was
You read it
great.
on the internet. That's why, right?
No. I've been there before.
He's got an old version of the Reader. Looking at all the old school,
All those old school
all
clippings from the newspaper,
nightclubs and
right?
shit. So yeah, my first 21 and Over club I got to play at was Convent. So I'm sure you remember Convent.
Oh yeah.
So you don't remember Convent.
No,
You
I
wouldn't.
don't.
So yeah, I was 19. We're at Doc 5, and it was kind of a slow night. And somebody, I don't remember who it was, that wasn't able to make their set. You know, it was like 1 in the morning, I think. And Frankie comes up to me, he's like, "Hey man, do you want to go play at Convent?" I'm like, "Frankie, dude, I'm 19. You know, whatever. It doesn't matter. Just grab your records and go." And I had a little half crate and everything. I'm like, "Does he even want to hear this, dude? I got like new wave and classics in there. Whatever. Yeah, just go play." So I go and I get there, and I believe it was Diablo that was playing when I got up there. And yeah, I went on right after him. I played for him, I think 1 to 2, and I won 1 to 1. I think it was an hour, 1 to 2. And that was my first time playing at 21 and Over. And then from there, it's just spiraled out of control. Played a Baja and 720 and Voyeur, and I still wasn't even 21 yet. By the time I became 21, I was kind of tired of all those places because I didn't want to be there anymore. And I was like, this is crazy. So
if you remember, how did it feel being like the youngest one in the room playing at 21 spots?
You know what, man? I thought it was cool, but you kind of grow up too quick, you know?
Yeah.
And, so you're sitting there drinking, you're hanging out and this and that. Should you be doing that at 17, 18 years old? No, not really. But, it was a good experience. It was fun, whatever. I had a great time.
I'm gonna give you an applause for what you just said, bro.
Thank you.
You know why? Because a lot of people don't, and they don't realize what it entails. Yeah. How deep in that fucking rabbit hole that you could fall.
Oh, absolutely.
Because you just want to hang out with the cool kids, as they say, bro. And a lot of people don't realize that. And I've watched a lot of guys pretty much lose everything, lose lives too.
Sure.
On top of it, over the stupidest shit. You know what I'm saying? And we've touched base on it, but no other DJ besides you has ever said that. So I applaud you on that.
Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate
Good job.
that.
Seriously.
So yeah, but we had some great times. I had a lot of great memories with those parties and the people that I was able to play with and all that. So yeah, man, it was really good times, man. Really fun times. So
what was the best place you ever rocked?
House of Blues was my favorite place.
Really?
Yeah, we were doing that. It started to be like once a month. It felt like we were doing a lot of the holidays. Mm-hmm. So we did like Christmas and then New Year's.
On the main floor or the party room?
No, we were in the main area. It was 1,200 people.
Yeah,
it wasn't the restaurant downstairs. It was the upstairs. Yeah,
that place is huge.
So, yeah, it was great. And we would once in a while, which kind of sucked, whatever, because we were never really able to DJ on the stage. Mm-hmm. We were always up in like the opera box kind of thing. Yeah. So we had the equipment up in the opera box and whatever. So you're looking over, trying to see the crowd. So it's kind of hard to feed off the crowd and the energy because you're all the way up there.
That was like the first Medusas.
Yeah. The old school Medusas.
Yeah, Belmont.
Christ. Yeah, so you couldn't really see the crowd, whatever. And I think it was maybe like 2 or 3 times we were able to actually be on stage. But the reason for that was because they had like bands and other groups that would go and perform there, and they would already have their equipment set up on the stage, so they didn't want us to interfere with that. Mm-hmm. So we would always be upstairs in the opera box. But yeah, we had some good times up there though. So for sure.
That's awesome. Yeah. Man, damn, bro.
Bring it back.
So
bring
House
it back.
Blues,
for you.
And that was in like 97, I think was the first party we threw there. It was Thanksgiving of 97. Like I said, we did all the holidays. And I still remember the New Year's Eve from 98 into 99. Of course, everybody in the whole planet probably played Prince, 1999. But we had like 1,500 people there, and they were jamming and singing. And that was and it was like a blizzard that day.
Oh, shit.
So I still remember.
I remember that. I remember the blizzard.
There used to be a parking lot right across the street, and I just remember walking in with my case of records, and there was a line going down over the bridge to get in this place. And I'm walking up, it was like the graded, the road there. And I'm walking up, and I'm hearing, Ryke, and I'm like trying to ignore everybody because I'm like, I can't get everybody in. And I know you're out there in the snow, and I want to help, but I can't help 100 people, So, yeah, so those were good times. Those were my favorite moments was probably at the House of Blues.
Oh, for sure, awesome. Yeah. That's a fucking iconic place, number one. Number two, that place is fucking... Yeah. I DJ'd a couple times.
It was great, and again, you're like 17, 18 years old, rocking 1,500 people. That was just, that's like my peak right there. Right. Whatever. I'm 44 now, and I'm like, damn, I peaked at 17. So like, what the heck? That kind of sucks. But
so let me ask you another question. Mm-hmm. And obviously, I didn't know you personally back in the day. And I mean, it's an honor.
I'm surprised because
we probably.
I'm sure we ran into each other.
I'm saying.
I mean, because
the venues that he's been playing at, you played at because you mentioned it. But I'm surprised you guys never crossed paths.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever been on a flyer together, if I can remember correctly. I mean, I do have like books of flyers that I was on, and we probably were. We just don't even know it. But yeah, I don't remember playing the decks with you, but I'm sure we crossed paths, 100%. Because I know your name, I've heard it many times, or whatever. So, but yeah,
the shit talker. No, that's what Alex calls me.
Yeah.
No, but being so young and being in that limelight at that time, did you get ornery? Did you get bold?
Yeah, you get kind of cocky after a while, whatever. A little bit, whatever. I think that's a part of growing up and learning, whatever. Right. As I got older, I learned that, don't act that way. That's not the way to be.
No, it's not.
I did have a little cockiness when I was younger, and I had my group of friends where I don't need to hang out with you guys. I don't know you guys, this and that. And that was just a wrong way to be. Now I'm just the complete opposite, where I'm cool with everybody, man. You cool with me, I'm cool with you. And if I can give you an opportunity and help you guys out, then I do. So that's why, 103.1 FM we're on now, the Party Zone, and I kind of run the area of the guests, DJs and stuff, so I'm always throwing it out there, whatever. And probably shouldn't throw it out there to everybody, because even DJs I don't even know, be like, oh, you're a DJ, you want to submit a mix, and then you get the mix, you're like, oh shit,
Yeah.
So now you got to make the decision to say, hey, buddy, we got to kind of move on from that. But yeah, man, I mean, that's just the way I am now. I try to get along with everybody and try to help anybody any way I can.
Right. So. You're the first henchman stagehand that I've seen smile while they work. Because most stagehands are not smiling and.
You know what, man? That's fun to do, though, man. Gina gave me an opportunity to help him out at his events, and what's cool about it is he's bringing these artists that I've listened to for 30 years, you know, and you know I got their records and this and that, so I'm bringing records, getting them signed. You get to talk with them and interact with them in a way that normally you wouldn't, you know.
Yeah.
Even if you're just on the card and you're DJing or playing, you know, you kind of just in passing, hey, it's nice to meet you, you know, whatever, right? But as the actual stage manager, you're interacting with each one of these artists. Hey, what do you need? Do you need anything? And then you get to kind of talk with them and kind of listen. And you know, some of them are most of them actually were really, really cool to talk to and hang out with. Right. But you get into more of a conversation and what's going on and yeah, just to learn a little bit about them. It's pretty cool. Right. You know, normally you wouldn't get to do that.
Right, absolutely. You're absolutely correct.
I enjoy it.
We don't bite. I mean, none of us bite. Exactly. I mean, you know. So the first time I met Bill, man, he was an awesome guy, Bill's man. Great. I mean, dude, I met Bill back in what 1990.
Yeah, Bill's good.
He's a beast, man.
Cool.
He's
I met
still
him
my
through
hero.
CZR.
He's another fucking great guy.
Yeah, Caesar, good guy.
I mean, come on, man. I mean,
but yeah, you know what? All those B96 guys, man, they were, you know, Markski, Tim, Chris. What am I missing her? Julian, you know, they're all, you know, they're very easygoing and easy
Frankie
to talk
Hollywood.
to. Frankie, yeah, you know, Speed, Flip Side, you know, Metro,
Speed not
all
so
them.
much. No,
Speed's good people, man.
He's a Martinez, bro. He's a Martinez. He's like me, bro. I just saw him last week, bro. And he goes, "What's up, Mr. Martinez?" What's up, Mr. Martinez? We're just fucking around. He's a good buddy.
Like y'all family.
Hey, he signed my turntable, so I'm good.
Like y'all family.
He was
You
like,
want me to sign them, man? I'll bring the value down. I can bring the value down.
Nah, never that, bro. Because those aren't for sale. They'll never be.
Yeah.
They'll never be. They're belonging to my son. He's 10, so.
Oh yeah, man. Mine are gonna be passed down.
So back a couple hours ago when I posted the flyer for you, Panther had a question for you.
Okay.
When did you want to become a DJ when you grew up?
No. I mean, like I said, I started early. The one main influence was Bad Boy Bill. You know, I mean, that's probably a lot of people in the city of Chicago.
Every DJ.
You know, his DMC battles, his, you know, like I said, I tried to emulate a style similar to his because of when you would hear him on his mixtapes or hear him live, you'd be like, damn, you know, obviously he's phenomenal, right? But then you go buy those same records and you're like, the fuck, these versions don't sound like what he played, you know, or whatever, because he would make his own live edits and stuff like that. He would be unique with that, and that's what I tried to do with New Wave, you know, whatever. You know, I tried to make my own edits and my own way of playing it to try to, you know, stand out from the others that were there, because like I said before, there were so many great New Wave DJs. I just needed to stand out from there to try to make my own style. So growing up, I mean, growing up, I was only 13 when I started. So to say, did I want to be a DJ? Not until I was 13, you know. But yeah, after that, once I got a little taste of it and we learned and we actually started making blends that sounded good, hell yeah, I wanted to be a DJ.
Awesome.
And then that's where it kind of kicked off, and I was able to push off from there.
And that's awesome that you were self-taught, too.
Yeah, I mean, me and my buddy Rudy, man, off my buddy Leo's equipment.
We can relate.
So.
I was self-taught.
Yeah, we were all self-taught. I mean, there was YouTube. Yeah, dude, I had.
This was before. For me, that was before YouTube, though. Remember, this was like. I guess this is like past the internet explosion, but
AOL.
AOL.
Like I said, it was past.
Dial-up.
Like I said, it was past the internet exposure, but it's like this was before YouTube blew up. Like I pretty much learned on my own. I just had a bunch of CDs, and I'm like, okay.
I loved going to the South Side back in the day. You know, I really didn't DJ too much on the South Side, but I would go and hang out with some friends, you know, and we'd go out to the clubs. And dude, New Wave was huge on the South Side.
Oh yeah. New Wave, freestyle.
Yeah, freestyle. Freestyle wasn't that big, and it's an argument to this day. Back in the '90s, it wasn't that big on the North Side.
No,
it wasn't that big on the North Side
for sure.
We had Miracle, we had Pound that were doing the freestyle out here. We had Tim, and we had a couple other guys. Yeah. And please forgive me, but
I think Tim made it big throughout the whole city because he was on the radio.
Right.
And
but
it helped, it helped generate it. But Southside definitely freestyle.
Yes, freestyle and New Wave was huge.
New Wave
there,
was
bro.
Huge, for sure. Yeah,
huge in Spanish rock.
Oh yeah, Spanish pop and rock. Yeah. I actually did a Spanish pop CD.
Did you?
I did. Yeah, it was called Ryke and Espanol. It's actually on my mix.
Damn, that's
it was on my mix. It was in. I made it in like 99, 2000. That was actually a pretty cool story. So my buddy Andy Lopez, I'm not sure if you guys were familiar with him. He played a 720, right, with the Perez brothers, Omar and them. And he actually would come to my house all the time and learn to DJ, right? Kind of similar to what we were doing. And I would, show him how to, do the basics and stuff like that. And he would mix the same fucking records over and over and over to try to get the, the blends going, which is fine. But I'm like, I'd be in my living room and I'd hear him in the back room just playing like Fahrenheit and Our Darkness, because they had that kind of similar, hard beat. And I'd go back to like, oh, Andy, man, you need to try and change these records, man. I don't want to hear these fucking records anymore, So he ended up, learning, whatever, and he got connected again with Dave Soto from Euro Productions, and Dave gave him the Denon's, the 2500s, remember the old school, the dual decks or whatever, and he couldn't have them at his house for various reasons, so he's like, hey, Ryke, can I leave them at your house? And I'm like, yeah, absolutely, man. So he left them there, and I'm like, all right, let me try the CD equipment on. This was back in like, I can't even remember, 96, 97, somewhere around there. So I'm grabbing CDs from my room, or whatever, and I'm trying to mix with the CD equipment and getting familiar with it. And then he left his, because he started playing Spanish pop. He was real big into that. That's what 720 was all about. Back then, I think it was in the basement he was playing. And he had all these Spanish pop CDs, and I'd hear him, because he'd be, learning his programs, mixing and stuff like that. I'd hear him in the back. And I started jamming. I'm like, I like that track. So I started telling him, like, what's the name of that one? What's the name of that one, right? So I'd write all these down, and then all of a sudden...
This was before Shazam.
Yeah, before Shazam, 100%. So I knew the tracks that he had them in his CD books, whatever. So I'm like, okay, with that one. I played that, and I started, grabbed the 4-track. I started making it, and I made my own Ryke and Espanol tape.
So you were pressing your own, you were pressing your own plastic too?
Well, we would go to AV, what was it called? AV Audio out in Lombard.
Yeah.
So we would go there to do our tapes. I did my Out of the Ordinary tape. That was in 98, 99. That was my first new wave tape. Then I did Everybody Dance, and then I did the Ryke and Espanol with that, and then I did Final Fantasy was my last one. I only did 3 new wave tapes. Dude, he came out with like 10 of them, I think, and then he was doing the classics and all that. So he had that market locked down. I knew people from the mix shop, like Raul and them, and they would always ask me like, hey, when are you gonna come out with a CD? People are asking about it. I'm like, oh, if there's people asking about it, might as well make a few dollars back then, whatever, and just throw something out there. So that was one of the reasons I did it. Okay. And I was hanging out with DJ Mode at the time, and he was doing his as well. So I didn't really want to step on any toes, but since there was an ask, people were asking about it, I'm like, you know what? Yeah, why not put one out? So I did. I put a couple of them out, and then the Ryke and Espanol was a joke, whatever. And I did get a lot of flack for it, whatever.
Why?
The Spanish pop DJs, some of them were upset. Oh, it was a new wave DJ, coming out with a Spanish pop tape and this and that. But
I hate that shit.
It
so
is,
stupid.
I didn't really care. It was
so
just,
stupid.
Again, it was made
like
because I liked the tracks, and it was more of a joke, whatever. And it was only sold at one spot. It was at the mix place in Chicago Ridge. So Dan Denick, I don't know if you knew who he was. He was
Dan, Dan,
Dan, right?
Yeah, Just Dance.
Yeah, so he's the one that pressed it for me with Final Fantasy as well, and I think it was only sold at that one. I don't know if he sold it at other places. I'm like, I don't really care about it. Again, it was a joke. So, yeah. So,
it was a joke that fucking hit.
That actually hit, yeah, because some people actually like it, man. I have, I don't know how many views are on it now, but on Mixcloud, I threw it out there, and Dynamico was the one that kept asking me about it. Hey, man, when are you going to put it out? When are you going to put it out on Mixcloud? I'm like, all right, man, finally. So I put it out there, and if I got, Dynamico's a phenomenal Spanish pop DJ, and I got the blessing from him that it was good, and I'm like, all right, fuck it, man, let's throw it out there. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I can only imagine you karaokeing in the car, fucking mana.
Yeah.
Real quick, on the YouTube channel, we got Rico Show on Facebook there, and then also
Hello, Rico.
And also we have House 13 on the live stream here.
Freddie,
on
what's up, brother?
Yo, Freddie, what's going on? Hope you're feeling better, bro.
Yeah, that's my guy, man. He's good peeps.
Man, bro, Freddie and Maria, bro.
Very good people.
Fuck, don't piss off Maria. You'll be fine. Just don't piss off Maria.
Did you piss her off when she was here that day?
No. But a certain Yolanda conversation we brought up, she was like, no more Yolanda. She was.
A lot of people have an issue with that track, and I get it. Whatever. It's kind of
not the drunk people,
but I mean,
not the drunk people.
Again, there's a need for it. People want to hear it. I remember there was we talk about Bill. Someone had put out something on Facebook saying like, what's the most annoying or overplayed house track? 90% of them said Yolanda. Mm-hmm. He ended up popping up and said, okay, guys, I'm sorry. It's like, man, you shouldn't be sorry for it because it was actually, a popular track. And I actually talked with Benji about that track because it was supposed to go on DJ International. Mm-hmm. And he said that at the time it didn't fit the style. It fit Strictly Rhythm a little bit more. So they sent it out to New York and it got signed on Strictly Rhythm. And Benji actually helped Bill with that.
Wow.
So that was a pretty cool story when I was with Benji for a while.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, Benji was a go-getter. He was a hard worker, man.
Dude, that guy, like I said, he's like an encyclopedia of music. He remembered he would remember tracks, what label it went on, what year it came out,
That's
who
disgusting.
was a part of it.
That's disgusting.
And
bro.
you're talking about 30 years later, he was like on point with that. Yeah, that was 1984, and this was blah, blah, blah. I'm like, holy shit, how do you remember all that?
Yeah, right?
I mean, the guy was just phenomenal.
Yeah,
man.
he's a great guy, man. Like
really
I
easy
said,
to talk to him.
I
You could
heard
blow
they
3
just-
hours easily just sitting in the store with him.
Yeah,
You know?
because he's intelligent. I mean,
was,
definitely you want to know some shit, he'll definitely tell you. But I heard they just got rid of his collection.
You know what? I don't know who grabbed it. I thought it was like Babalu or something like that grabbed the collection after he passed away.
Yeah.
I mean, you go in that store and it was just stacks of records.
Yeah.
I mean, it was
I
so
don't
hard
even
to
wanna
get
know,
through
yeah.
everything. Yeah. And again, I would always tell him like, hey, any razor made you got, buddy, give me a call. And he would give me a call. Hey, I got this, come in, and and I would grab them. And I was grateful for that. But
Gramophones was big with the Razor Maid.
Gramophone was it? Yeah. It was a lot, again, Hot Jams as well, but you're paying $500 for one. You're like, oh, chill out, Andre,
I'll spend the gas.
Yeah. It's like, I'd rather go up to Clark, fucking, So yeah, I just had a thing for Razor Maids, and I still do.
Yeah, that's awesome. So if I find them, I got you.
Yeah, hit me up,
Definitely.
for sure. I'll take them off your hands, for sure.
Yeah, even if you got doubles?
Dude, I got 4 of the Celebrate the Numb Patients, and I told Rick Guerrero he can have one because I don't need 4. I got one that's still packaged. I got it from Doodad. Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah.
Damn,
I don't care if it's doubles, triples, or quadruples.
Maybe, I thought I had a museum. This guy's got a museum right here, man. He's got some art pieces.
Imagine his room. Imagine.
Oh, we just saw it. He showed us
He
showed us fucking pictures of it.
Yeah, that's some of them. Yeah,
that's disgusting, bro. That's absolutely. That's dude. His studio made
new
me
wave,
fucking.
man. I love the new wave, so I got a ton of that.
I looked at my studio. I'm like, damn, bro, this is fucked up.
Come on, man. This is nice in here. Get out of here.
It's a little warm. It's a little warm.
My studio is just a little colder.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you're in the basement. I'm on the second floor.
I'm in the basement. Yeah.
I wish. Yeah, it's freezing downstairs.
Oh, for sure.
Really?
I see Rampage on.
Trust me, it is.
Oh, you can have one, Rampage. That's fine. I think we talked about that already.
You know, you should raffle them off.
Hell no, I ain't raffling anything off.
Raffle them off and send them to a good cause.
I'll give them to my guys if they want them.
That's awesome. That's cool. That's awesome.
So, question for you, Ryke.
Yeah, go ahead.
What is? So you've been in this game for a while now.
About
so
30 years.
Yeah. So
not too long. Not as long as Al. He's older than me.
So
hold on, I just dropped my dignity.
So here's my question for you. So you've been in this game for a long time now. What do you think of the current state of the DJ market right now in Chicago?
Oh man, you got music going.
I know. It's not my phone.
No, it was my phone. Sorry, my
you?
Bluetooth.
Okay,
My
no worries.
Bluetooth turned off. My bad. Sorry. Damn.
So
my bad.
you know what? I don't mind the current state of it. I mean, I think it's kind of odd with the festivals. Back in the day when you have your festivals or whatever, it wasn't about who's playing. It was just about the music, and everyone's just jamming. And I kind of like that era where of course you're still gonna go there for a certain DJ because you like the way they play, you like the genre that they're playing or whatever it might be. But now it's more like it's a concert where people are just standing there watching the DJ perform. It's just odd to me, that's just a different era, whatever. That's just what the kids do today, and I don't know if you guys get it, because you're young, so I don't know. Al would probably understand.
I definitely understand.
Back in the '90s underground.
I'm trying
to understand where you're getting.
No, because
clarify for me.
Okay, so back in the days, you used to be sea of people, at these concerts, and everybody there's not one person moving, which I don't understand why you say that because I see your fucking videos, bro, and everybody's moving.
No, I'm just saying, what I'm trying to get at is
you guys always rock, bro. Always.
They're having a good time, but they're facing the DJ. Where back in the day, people would just be dancing.
Yeah, right.
You might not even see the DJ. Back in the day, like I said at House of Blues, we'd be up in the opera box. They couldn't even see who the hell was playing.
Yeah, but
right?
you look over and
everyone's dancing. No one even looking at the DJs. Where now today, everyone's just standing there looking at the DJ
with their phones on their foreheads.
With their phones or whatever, and they're still dancing or having a great time and all. But it's like the whole focus is on the DJ, and the DJ's dancing around doing it, and they're throwing cakes and shit like that. It's just
what's up, pal?
It's a little bit different. That's the thing.
Here's my question for you with that: is it like a generational thing? Because
I think it is. Yeah,
Well,
it's changed after COVID. It changed too. Yeah. Because not a lot of and a lot of other guys said it that a lot. You go to the clubs now, and people, some of this fucking music you can't dance to. That fucking bullshit.
No, the reason why. Shut up. The reason why I'm asking if it's a generational thing because for instance, when I went to the Cinco de Mayo event, It was kind of like a mixture of both. Yeah, people were staring at the DJ, but then at the same time, people were like actually on the floor. They were in their group and they were dancing. Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to figure out, like, is it like a generational thing?
Hey, something, you know what?
And then
it definitely.
It depends on the DJ too, because like you got DJs that just go up there and play, right? Yeah. They do their thing and they play. And then you got DJs like sort of like Gino who interacts with the crowd.
Correct.
So when they interact with the crowd, then they tend to get the crowd to be looking at them.
The attention, of course.
You'll get the attention.
Yeah.
So
then you'll have the girls looking up Zombified.
Yeah. That's when T kicks in.
No.
It's a cologne.
No, it's not even.
It's that wafting cologne he wears.
Not even. Not even. No,
fucking pound with 2 D's in the building.
That's why I was asking if it's a generational thing, because I'm like,
I don't know.
Because I remember, like, I took videos when I was at Cinco de Mayo, and I'm like, people were actually dancing and having a good time and not just staring at the DJ.
Yeah, because that's our generation.
And that's the older generation.
Yeah, it's true.
That's our generation. And some of us have bad knees and we're still moving.
Exactly. And they're there for the music, and like we're most, like I said, the newer generation seems to be, yes, they're there for the music, of course, but they're more there for the performance of the DJ, and they watch it. And of course, now with the bigger, events, you got light shows, you got all kinds of stuff, so there is stuff to look at, so I get it. But I just kind of miss the old days where, shit, we could be hiding in a fucking coat room playing, and no one even know who's DJing. They're just there for the music and for the good vibe.
Hey, Maria, what's going on?
So, there's Maria.
Hey, we were just talking about you. Just talking about you.
Gino was commenting. He said, "Okay to face the DJ, just don't get on stage."
Why? When you got your henchmen over here,
well,
bro.
They can't get on stage, man. That's what I'm there for. I stop them.
Absolutely.
We had a few issues with that, trying to get on stage. I'm like, who the hell are you with? And they're trying to name drop. I'm like, dude, get out of here, man. You gotta go. So I'm not gonna say who that was, but that's.
I'm not trying to name drop, dude. We were invited to the show, and I didn't want to get back there. I was just like, no, I'm good, bro. I know how it is, man. I know, especially that was an important thing that you guys do too as well, because I'm not naming names either, but I've been to a lot of concerts, and dude, when you got 20 or 30 people on the sidelines and you're trying to get through and your bags are up there, and
I don't get that where the whole back stage is crowded. On stage, like behind the DJ, and it's like, what are you doing?
I think what it is, they want the quote unquote VIP experience, which I don't understand.
That's straight up VIP if you want to be on stage, man. I'm like, no, unless you're playing to get off the stage.
Absolutely.
So,
what's up, Peter Ramos?
What up, PR? Southside? So, no, I do like the boiler room. I would not be able to do that.
Oh yeah, you know what? That's like their style though, so I get it. But it's odd though. Yeah,
people on top of you, bro.
Sometimes I've seen videos of them where they're hitting the equipment, and stuff like that. Like, that's unnecessary. I think there should be, I get the vibe of it and why they do it with the videos and stuff. But there should be some sort of rope where you can't be that close to the DJ, like all up on it where you're trying to play. That's kind of uncomfortable. Some of these people, man, they're literally on top of you, behind you with drinks in their hands. Yep. Your laptop, so they're your CDJs. Bumping into you when you're trying to blend is like, yo, what are you doing, man? So.
Or you got those assholes that you're on stage and they think it's a pull-up bar. What the fuck is wrong with you, bro?
I saw that and they pulled the whole equipment down.
Yeah,
that's crazy. I don't understand.
I'm gonna hook up the table to a fucking taser.
Get them off.
Absolutely that, and putting drinks on subs.
Just hire me as a stage manager, man.
There you go, man.
Get them out of there.
You scared me, bro.
I have to get aggressive sometimes.
Yeah, I got you.
So during your peak of your musical journey, right? What makes you stand out from all the other DJs?
I don't think I stand out from anybody.
No. Let's see.
I just do my thing, or whatever. Standing out, like I said, I think we touched on that a little bit with the edits that I do. So I do make different versions of the tracks just to be able to stand out from other DJs that play similar styles. But yeah, other than that, I mean, I don't see myself as like this, huge DJ that a bunch of people want to hear play all the time, whatever. I'm not a standout. I'm not a bad boy Bill.
And no disrespect to anybody, but there's not too many people that still rock fucking new wave.
I was about to say
there is actually. I would say Luis Segura, Pablo
Numo.
Punkal, Numo could do it.
But,
Jesse De La Pena. And Miguel Martin, he does a lot of the newer, actually, new wave and goth stuff, and he's phenomenal.
But it's hard to go out and hear that stuff. You understand?
It is, man.
I was gonna say, like, DJs back then in the early 90s, new wave was a thing.
It was prevalent back then, bro.
But
huge,
it was a thing. But was it? Obviously, I don't know because I wasn't in that time. But was new wave like a big thing to play
Back in the day, yeah, fuck yeah, dude. There was full out parties with that
early
shit.
to mid '90s, daytimes and
Hey, did you ever?
And like all the places, like I said, on Milwaukee, and then you got you had Medusas, you had Alcatraz, Janals, and all that.
Medusas had the separate room for that.
Yeah, so I mean, it was huge. Was it huge within the whole city of Chicago? No, it had a small niche market, but that small niche market had a lot of people. A lot of people that were they would always be there.
Mm-hmm.
They had their same people.
It's kind of like going to like a punk rock bar and
No way.
Shut up.
No way. Like
punk
the exit? Whoa.
The exit. Yeah, I forgot about
exit.
Yeah,
it's kind of like going to like a punk rock bar. And
I'm talking about the old exit.
And I was like specifically
the
going
one on
there
Wells
for
or
that.
the one on North Avenue?
North Avenue.
Yeah, because the Wells was before that. That was before our time.
Yeah.
So my buddy would always talk about that. He's older than me. Oh, yeah, the one on Wells. I'm like, dude, I barely got to the one on North Avenue.
Numo just commented. He said we need to see Ryke performing and not behind the stage.
I'm retired at the moment. Nobody wants to see me perform. Come on. We got many better DJs out here like T-Kid and Al Do It Like This.
You better stop your shit, man.
I don't know about that.
I gotta go get my boots. The fucking shit's getting deep here.
Yeah. No, man.
You're phenomenal, dude. We heard you. We heard you. You killed it, man. You fucking murdering it, man.
I'm just taking another break. That's all. Taking another break real quick to work on some things, and then I'll be back at it soon. So you gotta wait for Ryke Guerrero. We got Rick. That's our stage team. Our stage name.
Rick Guerrero.
Rick Guerrero and myself. We came up with Ryke Guerrero, and. Yeah, and
it's like see
if we can make some moves soon.
It's like we have two Guerreros and two 3Js.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
Oh, yeah, 2 3J, Chris Lara.
Yeah, Chris Lara.
Dude, he's like a spitting image, man.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. Remember we did.
They don't look alike at all, man.
They do and they don't. We'll just put it that way. They do and they don't.
They do. Remember the
Chris
picture?
Chris is taller.
A little bit.
All right, they don't look nothing alike.
Like
I don't know.
He's like a foot taller or something. I mean, he might be like 2 inches taller.
I don't know, depending on what Jordans he has on that day. I guess I don't know. Yeah. I don't know, but they don't look. I don't think they look like them.
Rick Show commented. He said that he thinks that DJs now give some form of entertainment, like they dress up and then it's like a concert. They also stand on tables, put their hands in the air and get the crowd hyped. These are the new DJs nowadays.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
True.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. I didn't say there was anything wrong with it. It's just a different era. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
So I see my boy Gabriel Get Down. He's going to be on the Party Zone this weekend. He doesn't know that yet, though.
So explain the Party Zone.
The Party Zone. Okay. Actually, this is actually a pretty cool story. So DJ Markski is the one that's running it, along with DJ Adam and Paul Blend. Paul Blend and DJ Adam. They actually work at the station. They've been in the radio for a long time, and so what happened was, let's go back a few years. Julian Jumpin' Perez, he was running for alderman, and we hung out with him. So he asked for our help within his campaign, and of course, we're always down to help some friends. So he had this campaign event. It was his first one, and it was kind of close for family and friends and stuff like that. And,
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
it was. I can't remember exactly where it was at.
I think I know where it was.
It was right off the river, though.
It was at Azul's.
Yeah, yes, that's where it was. So you get there, and
I know the DJ that was playing there. That's why.
Okay, yeah. So it was a beautiful place and everything. We were hanging out, and DJ Markski was there. And like I said before, we used to book him back in the day at the House of Blues and stuff like that. So we got to talking, and he didn't play for I think he said about 10 years, and he was there with his wife, and his wife was like, I want to get him back into it and this and that. So we were talking about it, and I kind of told him about like the controller I have, the XZ, and how well it works, and this and that, and tried to get him to get his interest, whatever, to get back in, because I was a fan of his, as many of us were, and so he. We exchanged numbers. We were talking, throughout the week, and he ended up buying one. He bought an XZ, which is freaking awesome, right? So I told him if he needed any help, whatever, I'll come over and help him out with the music. Because again, it was a totally different era from when we were playing before. It was all CDs and this and that. So now you're throwing it on record box, USB, Serato, whatever it might be. So then he got back into it, and it just so happened 103.1 FM is WPNA. It's a Polish National Alliance, and of course Markski is Polish. And they called him in for an interview without knowing that he was back into DJing, right? They just wanted kind of like a story of him, coming from Poland and, ended up being in the music industry and stuff like that, like how he, came about and just his lifestyle, right? Kind of what we're doing today. And he was there, and it was in Polish, so I couldn't hear it. But I guess when he called me after the show, he's like, yeah, I mentioned it to them that we got back into it, and I helped them get back into it, right? So awesome. They offered him the mix show, and this was in 20. So we started the show in 20. So it was in 2022. It was about maybe August or September of 2022, and he's like, would you be interested in playing? And I'm like, oh hell yeah, dude, being on the radio, that'd be cool. So he's like, all right, so we got to put kind of a team together, right? So then, he started throwing names out there, and I know, he wanted Gino. Gino got, called onto the show, and DJ Rampage, he worked with him before at Energy 92.7.
Damn.
And stuff like that. And then, yeah, Quick Mix and Nick, DJ Max, Magix and all that. So, he put this awesome team together, and we've been doing it from New Year's Day, right at midnight it kicked off, if I remember correctly. New Year's Day or New Year's Eve and today, 2023. So we've been doing it for over a year and a half now, and we got a phenomenal crew. And like I said, I kind of run the guest DJs for it. Probably about 90% of them have gone through me for screening and just trying to get them out there, whatever. And I give everybody an opportunity, and it's been great, man. I've been loving it. Like I said, we got an amazing crew on the show. We have very diverse music. We could pretty much play whatever we want, within the dance genre,
right.
Or whatever. So there's Euro, techno, house, new wave, freestyle. I mean, anything, dude.
Right.
Reggaeton, whatever, right? So it's a very diverse crew. Yeah, we could play whatever we want, Okay. So
110, 115 above, sir.
Shut up.
115 and above, sir.
Well, reggaeton's not 115. So
I know that's what it is.
But yeah, man, it's been an awesome journey so far. So we're enjoying it.
That's good. That's awesome.
Yeah. So
I mean, it's a blessing, man. I mean, I'm just like you, Ryke. I love helping people out, man, as much as I possibly can, except for this guy.
Ah, come on, man.
He's not accepted. He's not
Nah, he's a good guy.
No, he's not. No, he's a good guy. I help him out.
No. 3J and Pamp in the thing.
In the live stream.
It helps, man. It helps. What up, Pamp? What's going on, man?
RS1, what's up?
RS1 was here already, bro.
What
the fuck's wrong with you?
Got some good peeps in here, man.
Yeah, man. They all came to see you, Mr. Ryke.
Nah, man.
They came to see you, Mr. Ryke.
They came to see you guys, and they just so happen to be the guests.
No, never that, bro. You better stop
well,
it.
They're here for the 100th episode.
Yeah, that too, man. Yeah. And DJ Ryke's here with us on the 100th episode.
And I get to take this 4-track home for being on.
We're fighting.
Hey, Al said it. So,
We're fighting.
And I got a witness right here.
I'll give you. I'll take a picture of it and give it to you.
That'll work, man, because I'm never going to use it again anyways.
Yeah, right? That thing, I don't even think that thing, I don't even know if it works anymore, man. It was in my storage for a while.
I still have the power cord for it, but it got stolen.
Do you?
The actual, I still have the power cord for it.
No shit.
The 4-track itself got stolen, yeah. So.
No, I got the power cord. That's mine. I bought it. I got
yeah. What pawn shop did you get it from?
No, I didn't. There was no pawn shop, man. I actually bought that, from Midwest Audio.
No way, yeah.
Back
that
on Clark.
A good spot, yeah.
Back
right
in
down
the days.
Right from Gramophone.
Yep, right down. Bro, I used to ride mine from Gramophone.
That little right in the corner of where it split.
Yep.
So, and then they had the theater right there as well, too.
Yeah, there was a mall there.
So, and we all got our cars towed over there, too.
Damn.
Oh,
really?
Everybody did. Anybody that went to Gramophone went to park at McDonald's and got their car towed. Everybody.
Or the post office.
Yeah, the post office. Anywhere around that area, you got your car towed. If you didn't get your car towed, then that was like a rite of passage, man.
I didn't.
You never got one?
No, I never did. Because I had to ride my bike over there.
Oh, well, there
Bicycle.
you go. So, you never got your bike stolen?
No. No, I had a GT, bro. And
GT Performer?
Yeah.
Nice.
With the mag wheels.
You know what they're going for now?
Yeah, I know. I see them.
Like $3,500.
Yeah, no shit.
I've seen them. I should have kept my bikes, man. But
my buddy just was cleaning out his unfortunately his grandparents passed, and he was cleaning
Rampage
out.
said he got a ticket there.
Yep.
Either ticket or towed.
Nah, I
so
never.
You get one or the other.
Not only that, you can take the train there too, and I lived in Wrigleyville.
Yeah, you can.
So
yeah.
I lived in Wrigleyville,
well then you're
so
close to us.
Yeah,
we came from the south side.
Yeah, no, you were taking no train over there.
We were driving. Oh, let's go eat at McDonald's and then take a walk. They don't give a fuck if you ate there, man. As soon as you walked off that premises, they're towing your shit.
Yeah, no shit.
So yeah,
you'd almost have to put the bag in the window and shit.
Oh yeah.
See,
it's crazy.
I'm going through the comments real quick. Like 3J just commented. He said that you're a beast and you killed it with the decks and creation and you killed it in the Cicero stage, Cicero House Fest.
They must have all got my envelopes. I know I owe you guys money for that.
So
I got you.
So I'm trying to figure out because we were at daytime at Joe's Live.
Yeah.
And Ryke killed it. So I'm trying to figure out like why does everyone feel like he doesn't
You're
get
your
the
own worst
respect?
critic.
Yeah,
you're
you know
always
what,
gonna be your
I
own
am,
worst
you know.
He's like,
I enjoy playing. You know, you
like-
get to a point after 30 years where you're like, do I really want to keep going? You know, and
So-
you mentioned my red BMW. Yeah, I got towed a few times and totaled a few times.
Damn. You
So-
always had cool cars, huh?
I like cars, yes.
I can tell.
So, yeah. Well, I drove the Pinto today, man. So
Yeah, right.
they were admiring my 1975 brown Pinto.
Hey, bro,
So,
and you're worried
I'm
about
surprised it made it out here.
Yeah, you're worried about the heat in this room.
Yeah.
Fuck, that thing has no AC
Yeah. Well,
So-
you know,
with that small ass,
I have an air conditioner in the back.
a little cutout window, That's just awesome.
I got a duct tape to the back window.
I'm just going through the comments here, and then
That was like that
you
Beastie
getting-
Boys video.
Ryke is
Oh,
getting
yeah, that's
Ryke is getting the respect out here, and then
I
when he's
appreciate
at
it, man.
the
I
when he's
love
at the
all the guys
daytime
on it.
event, like his set killed us. I don't understand why you feel that way.
Oh man, it's just me getting old. That's all.
I mean, everyone we all around the same age group in this room.
No.
No,
See,
I don't
slow
think
down,
you're
my
the
guy.
same age.
I'm
as
36.
us. Okay, you're way younger than us. Way younger than us.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't get. I mean, yeah, I get it. There are times where I feel like, damn, I'm so tired. I'm overwhelmed with all this DJ shit. I get it. But here's the
But you
thing.
gotta also understand.
But here's the thing that
we got
motivates
kids.
me.
We got families. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So we
kids
had to
age you
I mean,
like
yeah.
30 years.
Okay, excuse me. All right, my
My
bad.
kids are
Damn.
25, which
My
are only
oldest is
11 years
28,
younger
yeah.
than you. You were 11 when my kids were born.
Yeah, no shit. man.
Okay, my bad. Damn.
You were
But-
still playing with He-Man and G.I. Joe and making them
Yeah, I
fight.
still
and
got my
shit.
He-Man. They're
Hey.
in my garage.
Oh, really? For real?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, they're in my
But-
garage, but yeah.
But
they're
I
still
feel
there.
like, I feel like I go through the same shit that you guys, except for the family part. But I still go through the same shit that you guys do.
No,
Yeah,
especially
Bad
with the
backs.
DJ industry.
I
up knees.
DJ so much.
Fucked up knees, bad backs.
No,
Dude,
not
yeah,
there
you
yet.
DJ
Gray
like
hair?
every other hour.
Yeah, I'm
You're in a
somewhere.
different place.
I'm somewhere every weekend, but I get overwhelmed. I get it. But
Yeah.
you know, the money. I ain't gonna lie. The money does makes me want to continue to do it.
Sure, yeah.
Unlike yesterday, but still,
All you
it's-
need is that motivation, bro.
which I think everyone needs. Don't you think everyone needs that cha-ching to motivate you?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, of course.
See,
but
I don't get paid to DJ, so maybe that's what it is. I
Yeah,
get
okay,
paid
yeah,
more
right.
as a stage manager than I do as a DJ. So I'm like, you know what? The stage managing isn't too bad.
Yeah, because it's more of a headache. That's why.
It is, yeah.
No, you guys had that shit running like a clock, man. I was watching you guys from
Dude,
outside.
that's Gino, man. That guy's like a military sergeant, man. You know, if you go wrong, he'll start to whip you.
He said,
I heard you have to brush your teeth before you even walk
Oh
on
yeah,
stage.
dude, you got to brush your teeth after every hour.
Some people have to take off
Oh.
their shoes here.
Yeah.
It makes you brush your teeth.
when Gino was on the
He's got a water
show,
pick in the backstage.
when Gino was on the show, he did mention it that he pretty much looked to Ryke as his right hand
Yeah.
man to make sure.
Yeah, he
everything
said
is
that.
just-
He said, "My
Everything-
henchman."
And-
Because
as you can
he did say when Gino did say when he was on the show, like Ryke don't play when it comes to like.
No, he dude.
I don't. You know,
Dude,
whatever
he-
with time, like I
He's
said, I
like,
think me and Al touched on
Chop
this
chop,
earlier.
chop chop.
Me and Al touched on this earlier about having OCD.
Yeah, OCD.
So you guys told me to be here at 7:30, and I was here at 7:26.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, yeah.
So I'm always like that with time, and
That was
yeah.
awesome.
So
That was
when he
awesome.
asked me to do it, I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm down for that. I could whip some shit into shape and make sure that clock runs smoothly, and yeah, I'm glad it works out.
Yeah. No hiccups? Ever?
There's
Of
hiccups,
course.
of course.
There's
You know,
a bunch of hiccups.
no event runs 100% smoothly, which actually was it his last one, the one with Stevie B? That was probably the closest to perfection we've ever had.
Really?
Where we didn't have no issues with audio, no issues with time, no issues with any DJs having issues with their equipment. It ran extremely smoothly, and that was probably my easiest event to do with him.
That's good.
But other times, we had some issues with either it be audio or someone's equipment, or we had an issue with laptops not working with
So
one of the
that's
DJs and
fine.
stuff
Just
like
grab a controller and put it on top of the DDJ.
Why would you do some
Yeah,
shit
right.
like that?
that. Yeah,
It was a
So,
joke.
I know, but still, I know.
It's a
yeah,
joke, man.
like I said, we've never had any major issues where we're like, holy shit. We've
Yeah.
had some oh shit moments, like whatever. But won't get into too details with some of them. But yeah, no, everything's been pretty smooth, and I'm glad that his events do well. The D6 guys are really good guys, and they're really easy to work with. So it's not hard to work
Well,
with.
as
them
Gino
at all.
says, there's no team in I, or there's no I in team. There's
There's a
an
me.
me, though.
There's a me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
there's a me.
Is that me?
Is that, I mean,
Yeah.
so you guys ready for the one in Navy Pier?
Yeah, but we're gonna have a good time there. I don't think they need my stage managing that day, so we're just gonna hang out and have a good time. And I'm not really sure who his lineup is yet. He did
I'm pretty sure
run through a little bit, but
I'm pretty sure he'll make that announcement real soon.
I think it's going to be extremely soon, yeah, because coming
he'll be on the Ryke.
I will not be on there.
He'll be on there. He'll be on there.
No, I don't want to be on there.
Why not?
Gabriel said checks in the mail.
See? There you go. Gabriel, get down Garcia. Hey, isn't it past your bedtime? I thought it was
That's
past your
another-
bedtime.
Right, that's what he said when
Hey,
he
you said that earlier.
He
What are
said
you doing?
that when he made the post.
It's
He
another
said that in the
fucking
comments.
legend.
He didn't drink his warm milk yet.
It's another fucking legend.
He is a fucking legend.
Y'all, you guys are fucking legends, man.
eh.
I mean, come on, you guys got to understand something, bro.
Yeah,
You
we've
guys,
been around a long time. That doesn't make us
That makes you a legend.
Yeah.
That makes you a legend. You've been around. You've been around
Yeah,
a
we've
long
been
time,
around
and
a
you're
long
still
time.
rocking the stages. I mean, come on,
Yeah,
man.
we are. Yeah, we're having a good time. So
I mean, dude, it's
enjoy
like back in my day, man. I mean, I really didn't know too many DJs, but I mean, there are pretty much not. I was going to see almost 50-year-old DJs. You know what I'm saying? That are still rocking.
Oh yeah.
So it's a blessing, man. I mean, this is great.
Nah, man. I mean, it is a blessing to be able to say that. That we're still doing it after all this time. You know,
30
we've
plus
lost a lot of
years.
people along the way, which is sad.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is a blessing to be able to still be.
Well, some of those people that we lost was
willing
a
and
blessing,
able
man, because they had to get lost. Some of those people that
Yeah.
I'm not talking about the deaths. I'm just talking about the assholes that backstabbed you and.
Oh
shit
yeah,
like
you know
that.
what? To be
there's-
honest with you, man, throughout my career, I've been surrounded, like I said before, with really great people, and I still am. I'm sure you're gonna have your bad apples here and there, but I've heard a lot of horror stories from a lot of people, and I'm glad I didn't have to experience that. I've been around a lot of good group of people my
That's
whole
good.
life, so I can say I'm definitely blessed for that.
So when you're done with that horseshoe, the music.
Yeah, man, I'm sorry that you had to deal with that.
No, I mean it's just like
again,
onesie twosies. I mean, it's just people acting stupid.
It
you
is,
know?
yeah.
You want to climb the ladder, you work for it, man, and ain't nobody gonna just give it to you.
Correct.
You know, and then they get pissed off at you, and you're an asshole, and then I'm an
Correct,
asshole.
yeah.
So you
Correct.
do it, but I'm no, dude, you can't just step in the game and start stepping on people.
So now we can touch back that with TK when he was asking about the new genre or the new era. They feel that way, where they come in, they buy their controllers,
I said that before.
and it's easier. It's much easier for them to learn. That's why there's so many DJs at the moment.
So learn and
'cause
not
the
be
equipment
entitled.
is a lot easier. So they just feel like, okay, I bought the equipment. I learned a couple blends. When are you gonna throw me on flyers? Like, fuck, dude. Like, come on, man. So put your effort in. We all had to do it. And that's the only. I will give people opportunities when I see them put the effort in.
Right.
There's so many good new DJs that are out there, younger kids. I think you guys might have had Little Manny here.
No,
not
you
yet.
guys were trying. I remember I saw something about
Yeah,
you guys were
he's
trying to get him
dope.
out here.
Yeah, he's dope.
He's very good. You got Smalls, you got Jade and Diamond. On the ladies' side. There's a lot of really good young DJs, whatever. And I see that they put the effort in, how they go about their business, and 100%. We always try to give them. Anytime people ask me, hey, who do you think we should put on the flyers? I always mention most of them, because they're deserving of it. But then you got the other ones like, oh man, I just learned last week when you gonna throw me on a flyer. Like, come on, man,
Yeah, it's like get off my leg.
Of course you
dude.
gotta, of course someone's gotta, give them that open door. But it's just not gonna be handed to you,
I was about to say, like, I was about to say, like, do you deserve to get put on so quickly? Like, let me hear you first.
Yeah, exactly. So
That's just my opinion.
although it's kind of hard to do that too, if you don't give them the opportunity. So where are you going to hear them at? So that's why what's really cool about the industry now, you could do Twitch, Facebook, and you could do live streams, which helps you get out there,
Right,
or whatever.
right.
So yeah, if you're new, put your name out there, do some live streams, and then when someone says, oh, I want to be on a flyer, well, where can we hear you at? Oh, I did this live stream. Then you go on a live stream, and you see what they do, and if they're doing it right and they do it well, then yeah, of course, give them that opportunity. So I think that actually benefits the newer DJs, that they have more outlets to be able to showcase their talent.
I don't know, man. I mean, back in the day, and I've been talking to a lot of. It seems like it was more tight knit community back in the day without the internet, per se. Does that make sense? Yeah. Back in the day, it was just like we do parties, and they were huge parties. I mean,
back in the day, I think for you to be recognized, you either had to know somebody or do your own party.
Uh-oh.
That was a little bit difficult. A little bit.
Uh-oh.
Difficult, What's that?
I think I was about to ask that question.
What?
It's not what you know. Is it what you know or who you know?
In the industry.
It could be both. I mean, who you know, it could help you tremendously, obviously, because if they're doing big events and they're throwing you on the flyers, and it helps your career. What you know, if you're skilled and everything else, like I said, and you showcase your talent properly, and you're able to promote yourself properly and get out there, and you don't need to know anybody as long as, you know, as long as people are willing to give you that opportunity, you know? So if you have open promoters like I had that gave people opportunities, if they saw your talent and listened to your, you know, demo tapes, remember back then we had to do those, and you know those were live, you know, or whatever. So, you know, it depends on where it comes from, you know, or whatever. So if it could be who you know, throw you on a flyer. It could be what you know, based on if that promoter is willing to give you that opportunity and heard what you do.
Well, he's actually right, and I did, I did say that because it who you know is going to put you to that place.
Sure. Yeah.
What you know is going to make sure that longevity happens. You know, exactly. Yeah, so, because if you suck, bro, it could be
who you know, and they throw you on a flyer and you completely train wreck. And it's like, well, you know.
Yeah, have a nice day. Sorry, you had your chance.
Yeah, you had your chance.
You shit the bed, brother.
Now you're done. You know.
Yep, you shit the bed.
Yeah.
That is what it is.
What's up, DJ Nez?
What up, Nez? There's a couple of questions.
Nito had questions.
Nito had a question for you. He's like, who did you look up to as inspiration?
I think we touched on this a little bit earlier.
Bad Boy Bill.
It was Bad Boy Bill, who was a lot of people's favorites.
Duh.
That was especially in the early '90s. And then, like I said, with the new wave DJs, it was Rick Guerrero, Victor Salazar, Pablo Punkout, Jesse De La Pena, Miguel Martin, I think I said Luis Segura.
Mm-hmm.
So those were a lot of inspiration. DJ Yayo, that was another one.
Wow.
I actually seen him a few weeks ago.
Wow.
They did Frankie V did a party at Roof at the Wit, and Rick Guerrero was playing Diablo. I forgot Jesse De La Pena and Pablo. And Yayo was there. I talked to him like half the night, whatever. Because we were real close back in the day, so we were talking a lot and reminiscing and reconnecting. It was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I miss Yayo. He's good people. But we exchanged numbers and we're supposed to hang out soon. So be nice.
See, see what I'm saying.
And that's nice, dude. It's nice to do. Because like I said, I was surrounded by a lot of good people, and of course, as time goes on, you kind of separate, and then lately I've been reconnecting with a lot of those guys again, and it's been pretty nice.
That's awesome. So we smell a reunion coming up?
Yeah, actually, that's what the Ryke Guerrero thing is.
There you go.
We might throw a bunch of people together that you haven't seen on a flyer in 20 years. You never know.
Damn. Crazy.
Like me, because I haven't been on a flyer.
Call it the dust off.
No, you haven't been on the flyer.
It's going to be all wax.
Yeah,
or whatever.
Damn.
All wax with the old rotary mixer.
Ooh.
No, I'm just kidding. That sounds fun, though, doesn't
Don't play with me, bro.
Yeah.
I want, dude.
You know what?
Did
you see that the new Pioneer rotary?
Yeah.
Looks nice. I haven't messed with it yet.
Yeah, it was
I'm
at the show.
a fan of rotaries. I like them. It depends, obviously, with John. You're not going to scratch on a rotary. You can. There's a way to do it. It's kind of weird, but
weird.
But yeah, no.
Well, the old Rain had the toggle on top.
Yeah, you do the so it's easier to scratch if you do the toggles for sure.
Yeah.
So, what's in the future for Ryke?
I hope I retire soon from my job. I got 5.5 years left, and I hope I'm alive to do that. So, but other than that,
I think you'll be around. You ain't going nowhere.
I don't know, man. We'll see what where it takes. Like I said, I'm doing the radio. It's a lot of fun. I kind of scaled back on the events, but I will kick back into the events eventually, man. You get that itch that you want to bring it back and do it. So I'll eventually get back into it. But yeah, I'm hoping to make some tracks. I've been saying that for a long time, and we touched on this prior to the show that having OCD and being a perfectionist is kind of hard when you're putting out tracks, because you're never gonna like 100% of what you put out. It's always gonna be something where you kind of get back like, damn, I probably want to remove that or add this or whatever. And you can constantly work on a track. At some point you just gotta say fuck it, put it out there, and go with the next one.
Right.
So, and I just gotta get over that hump. I talked about that before, but yeah, I mean, I would like to do a couple parties, whatever. I got a lot of things in mind about that, and stuff. And I'm surrounded by a lot of good people that throw good events. You got 3J, Dave C. doing their event this Sunday. You got Gino doing events.
115 Bourbon
Club
Street.
Romo on a Navy Pier coming up, and another one I believe in October. He's got that run as well, which looks pretty cool. That 5K run, that's something different. We just had that softball game too.
Yeah, softball game.
That was phenomenal.
That was heart crunching, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the beginning, man.
Man, we were phenomenal. What are you talking about?
No, I'm talking about the first. No, I know. No, I'm not talking about the players. Dude, that was a full-out fucking concert you guys had there. You had food trucks. You had a stage. You had fucking, EV Stacks there?
That was, I don't remember the company. put it out there, and if Gene's still on, put the company in the chat here. Everything was actually donated. Yeah,
That's
everything.
awesome.
So everybody was like, "Oh man, we want to be a part of it." I'll bring the equipment. I'll do this. I'll do that. Or whatever. So
it was
a nice team effort. It was actually a beautiful day. It was like 75. So like day before was like 90, and I think the day after was 90. So we got extremely lucky that it was only 75 that day, and it was a beautiful day.
Gino said great game.
Yeah, it was a great game. I
Who
made
won?
the first out.
Who won?
Well, let's not talk about who won. It was for charity. We had fun.
Well, I said
I don't even know the final score.
I said the cops won because
they did
got
win.
guns.
Yeah,
they got guns.
You know what? They actually
We
had the
did win.
commander from the 8th district bat in full uniform with the gun and everything.
Damn.
So I'm like,
Did he
I'm
run
glad
the
I'm all the way
bases?
out here in left field, because if that thing pops out and starts shooting, or whatever. But it was a great game. I made the first out, which was nice, and then it went downhill from there.
Oh shit.
But it was for a phenomenal cause. It
Yeah,
was for CPD Nights youth programs. They helped the kids, and 100% of it went there. It was $11,000.
I was about to say that because Gino just commented $11,000.
Yeah,
Wow, that's awesome, man.
It was phenomenal.
That's great.
So,
That's great.
and they did a kids clinic prior to our game. It was like at 10:30 in the morning. The kids came. There was like I think 75 that signed up, but I think even more showed up.
Wow.
So there was so many kids, and they were teaching them how to play baseball, run the bases, hit the ball, stuff like that. And it was a nice little clinic for the kids. And then we kicked off the game, and like I said, I got the first out, and then it felt good, and then
So you're taking
I
the
caught
blame?
it in the left field, and then it kind of went downhill from there.
So let's get this straight. You're taking the blame?
I will not take the blame.
Okay,
It was
okay.
a team effort. It was a team effort.
There's no I in team, right?
No, there's no I in team with the softball for sure.
So
yeah.
I'm gonna ask Gino because he's in the live stream right now. When's the next one?
The next softball game?
When's the next one?
It's gonna
we're
be.
supposed to do one. I'm not going to say the details or anything.
But it's coming soon.
But we want to do another one, and then I think they want to make that cop one a yearly thing, because it did so well and it raised so much money. That's
awesome.
To do it every year would be great.
That'd be cool.
And of course, like we had a team. I think there was 22 of us on the team.
Damn.
So we played a few innings, and then to try to split it up, because you get 10 people on the field. So and then a couple of them were hurt, so they were like the first base and third base coach and stuff. But yeah, we had a great group of people that were there on their own time.
Yeah,
nobody got
practice.
paid, whatever. We even did a couple practices.
I saw that.
Markski wasn't able to make a couple of practices due to his family obligations, but he, I'm like, hey man, let's go hit the batting cages because we got to get some rust off. So we did hit the batting cages to get that, and again, everybody did it out of their own time, and it was really nice, man. So like I said, we're surrounded by a great group of people, and that just proved it right there, man. We had 22 people, and we had a great crowd.
Should do a
everybody
football
was
one.
all into it. Football, man.
I know.
Football
Jesus
one.
Christ, I was sore after just playing baseball, and I didn't even make any contact.
Hey, no, man, we'll do it against the firefighters.
I don't think right.
Those guys don't tackle the shit out of ever.
Right. I don't think you want the DJs to get hurt. Remember, they still got to play the following week.
You know what? Yeah.
The night of.
Man, we need our bodies.
Yeah, no. We do, yeah.
So,
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, no, the cops were phenomenal guys as well, man. They were cool people, and they're actual baseball players. So
That's cheating.
That's what I'm saying.
That's cheating.
So I had to tell them, I'm like, hey, are you guys gonna DJ afterwards? Because we're looking like a fool on the field. We gotta make you guys look like a fool somewhere, right? So you guys should hit the decks, just to kind of keep this even here.
Yeah, right.
But
I love that.
No, they're actual baseball players. They play like I think the Illinois State Police have their own team, and the military have their team.
That's right.
And I think the firefighters as well. So it's kind of like in football, like the Army and the Navy and stuff like that.
Right.
It's the same thing, So they're really good baseball players, and I think I follow them on social media. And one of their pitchers had a no-hitter the other day, so they're really good.
Cheaters.
So they
cheaters.
They jumped off and
they had the advantage,
and they scored some runs in the beginning. Not gonna say how many, but
I was just gonna ask.
And
how
then
many,
after a while, they kind of went easy on us, and that was okay.
They were like,
So,
"This is not gonna happen."
Yeah, they were batting with one hand. And,
Are you serious?
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh.
It ain't go that easy, but yeah, no.
I would have went up to the desk and be
we
like,
had
"Can you do this?"
We had it where it's also the Alderman Tabares. She was there and she got to bat, and then we also had the state rep, 22nd state rep, Angie Guerrero. She was there and she batted, and we had a couple of our sponsors from State Farm. And I don't remember her name, so I apologize. But then we had Markski's wife, Isabel Demora. She from Guaranteed Rate. She got to bat, whatever. So we incorporated, like some of the sponsors and everything. Because again, it's for fun. So
that
we had
sounds
a phenomenal time.
And Gino says he was happy that it was just all DJs and no talk about music.
Yeah, no, it was true. So normally when you're at events, you're talking about this and that music and blah blah blah. But that was just straight having fun, playing baseball,
talking shit,
talking shit, whatever. Come on, man, swing
He's
and
up.
miss on softball. What are you doing, But yeah, no, it was good to get out of that, that mindset and just relax.
So who's the first one to kick dirt on the ump?
We didn't. Well, who do we have as ump? I can't remember.
Gino?
I think it was supposed to be Troy Guy. I think he was supposed to be the ump.
Oh,
shit. And I'm not sure if that happened. I don't remember who the ump was, to be honest with you.
Troy Guy likes to yell a lot, so I can see that. You're out!
So yeah, but yeah, we had a phenomenal time, and that was a good time. For sure.
Yeah, it's a good time.
And I hope we do it again because,
sure.
like I said, we raised a lot of money for a good cause.
It looked like a lot of fun.
So,
It did look like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Before we get out of here, Ryke, you mentioned.
Oh, don't worry. We still got a lot of show left because don't worry. He's grabbing his phone. He's like, all right.
No, I'm not grabbing my phone. No,
I
was just checking
I'm
getting all these notifications.
He meant
from the show.
Ryke mentioned that he he just taking another break before he actually retire. So
I don't think a DJ ever retires.
That's the thing.
Because I took a break for 8-9 years,
and
now here I am again.
Yeah.
So like I said, you kind of get the itch out, and then you can.
So Al, no, you're fine. So Al took a break early in his musical journey as a DJ. We had a couple of guests on the show in the past that did the same thing too. So what made you get to that place? Be like, hey, I need to take a break. The first time.
I think it was just an overwhelming amount of events. So I never got even touched into that. So we did the DJing, where I was doing the new wave in the 90s. Then in the early 2000s is when I started getting more into more house music because new wave can only take you so far, right? And I was starting to do more newer house music events, not like the old house, but the new house. And I was working with Lego and Nick Santillan, and I actually did a track with I did an edit of Shay Demir's Rainfall track.
Mm-hmm.
This was in 2003. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with Shay Demir. He's pretty big with, he used to work with Ron Trent and the Prescription label and all that, right? So he hit me up and he had this track. It was 12 minutes. It was called Rainfall. And he sent it to me and he's like, I want you to make an edit of it. And then in my next album release, I'm going to release it on a 7-inch album.
Well, nice.
Within the 12-inch,
as
right?
As
a remix of the Rainfall edit. And I'm like, okay, fine. So I did it. And that was one of the first productions that I did with with that. And then and I was, like I said, I started getting more and more into the house scene and working with guys like Gerald Moore. I'm not sure if you're familiar with him.
Yeah, of course.
And the House Arrest guys, Zentra and stuff like that. And then an old buddy of mine, Frank, he and Carlos, they started doing 4 Evil Olive when it turned into Evil Olive.
Damn.
Red No 5, Victor Hotel, Teeny Martini, stuff like that. So I started doing into the house scene with that. We were playing, and we had the residencies, and it was mostly me, this guy Rick Torres, and Lego, right? And we were working with the same, so we were going to all those places, and then it just got to be a little bit much. As you're getting older, you're like, fuck, you're done. At a point, there was where you have to go out every day to support their events so that they come to your events. Back in the day how that was, right? So on Sunday, I'm at Crowbar. Monday, I'm at Red Dog. Tuesday, I'm at Slicks. Wednesday, I'm at The Note. Thursday, I'm playing at Red Note 5.
Shit.
Friday, I'm at Zentra. Saturday, I'm at Teeny Martini. And it's just every day, and after a while, you're just like, fuck, I'm tired. You're burnt out, So then I stopped, whatever, and I just took a break. And then and then my equipment got stolen, when I moved into my new house. And I didn't have it for a while until COVID came up. And then I started seeing, all the live streams with Victor and Rick. So when the live stream started happening, Doodat wanted me to come to his house. If you're going to do a live stream, come to my house first, whatever. Because we started together, like I said, back at St. Rita. So I'm like, okay, man, but I don't want to do that, whatever. So I ended up buying the new equipment, and I got everything situated, and I did. I went to Norman's house, that's Doodat's house. And I did the live stream, and then Caveman saw that I went to do that. Oh, man, you're going to come to my house and do a live stream? I'm like, what the fuck? So I'm like, all right. So then I go to Caveman's, and then from Caveman's, Gino saw me on Caveman, so he's like, hey man, you want to come to mine? I'm like, okay. So I go there, and then all of a sudden, just started rolling from there, and then I'm like, I guess I'm back into it.
Right.
And then
so
people
before
are like,
you leave, then you got to do a live stream.
let's do it, man. I didn't bring my USB. I got my headphones, but I didn't bring my USB. So then I just started doing it, and then I started doing them at my house, and then I started having people come over, and then I started meeting a lot of good people that I never interacted with before. And I've heard their names, but I never, because Pablo Punca Gonzalez, he started doing these USB series, and he hit me up to do the Alternative Nation one, which was great, right? And of course, a lot of the guys on there that I knew, but then the Numo Dan I knew from like the V5 days, whatever, because he would work with I think Dichotomy as well with Joaquin, and I was on flyers with him before, but I never really interacted with him until later on. Now we did the Alternative Nation series, and then Dave C, I knew his name, from the Cutting Crew, but I never met him personally, and he invited us over to his house to do a live stream to promote the Alternative Nation series, and now I started reconnecting with old friends, but also meeting new people, right?
At the same time.
And then we started doing events, and then just kind of rolled from there, and it's been fun, whatever. So and then it started to kind of get where it was every weekend I'm going somewhere and doing something. I'm at this event, or I'm supporting this event, and then again now I'm like, okay, now I'm getting older and I'm kind of getting burnt out, so I'm kind of taking a break.
But nobody's as popular as you, right?
Come on now.
That's why everybody wants Ryke.
Well, you guys are more popular than me. Look at you got this show. You got 100 episodes. I don't have 100 episodes of anything.
See, I was about to say that thing. See, so COVID brought everybody together virtually.
Correct.
And shut up.
There was a lot of haters too.
It brought people virtually, but eventually after the whole pandemic's over, you get to meet them in person and stuff like that. See what happens when you take a break around that time. Bring everybody back together.
I see 3J said he met me 3 years ago. You're missing a zero there, buddy.
Yeah, right.
30 years.
You already said you went to
went to high school together.
Same school. He did.
Yeah. After I got kicked out, I went to St. Lawrence and I met Mr. 3J. Yeah, he was a year younger than me.
He did mention that he was like, what high school did you go to? Right? Yeah. He said that in the comments.
I went to St. Rita and then I went to St. Lawrence because St. Rita asked me not to come back.
Bastards.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's all right. What?
My cousin went to St. Rita's.
Yeah.
So
it was a fun school. I liked it, but like I said,
for a Catholic school, it was pretty big.
Yeah. It was, yeah.
It was pretty big. I went to St. Benedict's. It was a small ass school, man.
Okay.
So we had fucking graduating class of like 70.
Oh no, yeah, we had big classes for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. St. Rita, I think, was bigger than St. Lawrence, to be honest with you.
So,
it was a good school.
So you mentioned that you were out every weekend, going here, going there, like out 7 days out the week. Brian was asked the question. He's like, during your days at Zentra, why wouldn't the promoters let you play upstairs?
You know what? I don't know. They had the bigger DJs up there, like Chuck Love and Falcon and Thomas Bangleter. I wasn't on that level. So I would play downstairs. There was two different rooms downstairs.
Yeah.
I had the VIP to the right, so I played in both areas. I played once upstairs.
Damn.
And that was early. It was an early night, or whatever. It wasn't like I was a main headliner or anything. I was never a main headliner for that. But yeah, I did play upstairs. I think it was actually twice I played up there. But yeah, most of the time it was downstairs, to the right and to the left.
Nice.
And it was fine, whatever. They had a good crowd, whether you were upstairs or downstairs. Of course, upstairs was a little more open.
Yeah.
So it was a little bigger up there.
A lot more open.
But downstairs still had your crowd. Like there was a lot of people down there because that place was packed all the time.
It was.
I used to love the vibe up
Damn.
there. So yeah, they just had
they
had the bigger, the bigger DJs upstairs, and I wasn't on that level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's okay. I didn't mind that.
It was really cool.
Because what was really cool was, of course you're going there, you're getting paid to be there, and then you do your set and you go upstairs and you get to enjoy fucking badass music. They had some dope DJs there all the time. So yeah, it was a good time.
I can't believe Zentra was still around during my time. Shit.
It was around for a long time.
It
Yeah.
was.
And then it turned into a barbecue place. So I don't know what it is now. But yeah, I went to eat there. It was called Dinosaur Barbecue or something like that.
Now it's a store.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
There's a bunch of retail stores.
They knocked that whole thing down, didn't they?
No, it's a store.
No,
but they
it's
knocked
all
it down,
retail
but now
over
it's
there.
all retail on that block.
Yeah,
now.
I know. Yeah,
Even
I know.
all like across from where Crowbar was, it was all open parking lots
Yeah.
before, and now that's all stores. There's just stores everywhere over there.
Sam Mar, what's going on, sir?
What up, Sammy?
All right, right. Before we get out of here, we always ask our DJs some questions towards the end of our show. So
Sure,
based on your response, we'll get into detail on that. So get your thinking cap on.
Oh, here we go.
And I think I know this first question. Growing up, who was your favorite DJ?
Bad Boy Bill.
All right.
Just testing you. No.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Stop it.
I said it 4 times, but yeah. He deserves a recognition. He's a great dude.
What's your favorite DJ setup, or what would you like on your DJ rider?
That's an interesting question.
Ryke's rider.
I need my green M&Ms and my water at a crisp 60 degrees. And
Are you serious? No, I'm joking.
No. Shit, I don't even know. To be honest with you, that's a good question.
See?
So what equipment do you spend on?
So the equipment that I
prefer?
prefer is I don't like messing with the laptops. I like a USB, so CDJs, obviously now would be the 3000s, whatever. Or, it depends on the place, because I know the XZ, it's a phenomenal controller. I have it. But if you're going to do like a big setup, say I'm playing at like an outdoor event or whatever, it doesn't have the best sound card for that type of place, whatever. So you would want the CDJs with like an A9 or a V10 mixer.
Have you messed with the Opus Quad?
I have not, no. I've seen it. I don't really like the layout of it, whatever. Again, I have the XZ, so but actually the layout is similar to the 3000s, because how they have the cue points above the jog wheel. Or I prefer it on the bottom, because whatever, because above, you're trying to mess with, it's just a preference, whatever. Because I have the XZ, so I like that setup. But yeah, I'm good with wherever I could bring my USB and pop it in. I'm a record box guy, whatever, because again, I got the USB. So a lot of times people will be like, oh, well, you want to come play here. And I've turned down events because I had to have Serato. Yeah. And I'm like, I don't have Serato. I do, whatever, and I have some tracks in it. But to have to transfer everything over, bring my laptop and all that, is it worth the effort for, to play at a bar for 45 minutes or an hour? That's not really. Right. So yeah, that would be my preference.
See, I'm trying to get in the record box, but
record box, not record box.
I tried to get in the record box, and I tried during the pandemic in 2020, but gave up on that. But I downloaded it again, so I'm gonna
what? It's just a preference of what you started with.
Of course.
So like I said, when I got back into it, I didn't have the XZ. I had the RX2, and then I got the XZ just because I had the turntable. So I'm like, well, the 4 channels better than the 2, so you don't have to flip it over, and the jog wheels are bigger, and it was just a better controller. So when I got the RX2 and I got back into DJing, and I transferred most of my music from the CDs and I started downloading stuff, I went through Rekordbox, because it was just what the equipment I had. But a lot of people actually go through Serato. And when I play with Serato, it's actually it's probably a better program, to be honest with you, than Rekordbox, because you could do, the stems are better on it and stuff like that. So it is, the layout of it is probably better. The one thing I don't like about it is you have to hit play and then you can use your cue points. Whereas on Rekordbox, you can have it pause and you just hit the cue and it starts to play, right? Okay. So that's the difference that I prefer on Rekordbox. And again, that's just because that's how I learned it and preference for myself. Right. But yeah, now that Pioneer bought Serato out, I'm surprised that they haven't put together like the best of both worlds and came up with this super software.
I thought that they were gonna kind of take Serato and just say screw it, because
put it off in the pasture.
There's so many, but see, that's the weird thing about it. There's so many Pioneer pieces of equipment that is Serato only, which is very odd to me.
Right.
Why is it not dual? Where I get where one would be Rekordbox only because that was their software. Right. But why would you have Serato only on a Pioneer software when they didn't even own it at the time? That was kind of odd to me.
But see now some controllers are both.
Yes.
Like the Flex
the XZ
10,
is both. Yeah.
Yeah, the XZ, the Flex 10, now the Rev 7.
Yeah.
I think most of the newer ones are dual.
So. Or you could toggle to them. I know you could use Rekordbox on like the older controllers, but you have to do some firmware update or some shit to that.
The XZ is phenomenal. The one flaw it has is one USB port.
Yeah.
For the controller,
right.
For the laptop.
That's true.
You could do 2 USBs, where if I'm doing a USB and you're coming up after me and you have a USB, but if you have 2 laptop DJs, you have to go to the USB to come off of the laptop so you can unplug it and plug a new one in, and that's the one flaw that the XZ has.
All right, in the live stream real quick, everyone's mentioning strawberry.
Yeah, what's up with that? I was just gonna ask you.
That's a Gino thing. You gotta ask him. He
Strawberry Fields Forever.
For some reason, I don't know why he said that. He said, I guess he wanted to make a joke about, and go a different route with it, but he didn't want to say that because it would have been mean. I don't know why. I'm mean to him all the time, so he could be mean to me. It's fine. But he said it smells like strawberries. Ryke must be here, right? And it just started rolling where it's like, oh, I smell like strawberries. I'm like, I don't fucking smell like strawberries. But it just became an inside joke, and then it got out, and now everybody says it. So,
strawberry shortcake.
Yeah, he has a strawberry shortcake. I think he got that from Devo. So, and it's in the background. When you watch his live streams, you can see it in the background.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, you can.
That's crazy.
So, yeah, that was a Gino thing, and I don't know, whatever.
It stuck?
It stuck, yeah. It kind of blew up out of nowhere.
There's a lot of people talking about strawberries. Right?
Yeah.
Right, in the live stream.
It's getting me hungry.
Yeah, I mean, I love them. I'll eat them. So, yeah.
All right, back to our questions. I think I know the answer to the next question. Favorite genre of music to play?
House music.
What?
Damn. I thought you were going to say
You know what?
New Wave.
I love New Wave. I do. And it's just that there's not much new of it. Right?
I know.
So I've played it for 30 years, you know, and for probably 10 of those years, every weekend, and you're playing pretty much the same records over and over. And yeah, you'd get some new stuff from Erasure and Depeche Mode and stuff like that, and you get your randomness that would come out, right? But for the most part, you had a core set, especially that people wanted to hear. Yeah, exactly. So you're playing like A Little Respect and Just Can't Get Enough and stuff like that. And again, I will always love that. It's near and dear to my heart. I will never not play new wave. I love it. But what do I prefer to play in the moment? And what I enjoy playing is house music, because there's so many different genres of house music.
I was just about to say that.
So you can do tech house and jack in house and, you know, Latin house. So
what do you like to play?
And I mostly play like jack in house and tech house, you know, or whatever. I'll kind of switch off between it.
You like that jumper shit?
So yeah, I like to kick it up, you know, to 126, 128, you know, stuff like that. I don't mind the low tempo stuff either, you know, whatever. Nothing wrong with it. Like at Red Dogs, you know, they used to kind of chill with that in the beginning, like Dave Britton and Mark Grant. I know it progressively get a little bit more upbeat with Lego and stuff, but yeah, you know, I mean, I like all genres of house, but just I have a preference of what I play. And again, you get new tracks over and over every week. There's thousands of tracks that gets released, so it's a little bit more fun. Where new wave, I got my 10 crates of fucking new wave or whatever, and you're just gonna keep rotating through those tracks, you know. So yeah, I love playing it, I do, but house music is what I would prefer.
All right, favorite venue to play in the past or present?
House of Blues.
Okay.
Touched on that. That was phenomenal. I loved it. The energy, the mixture of music, the DJs that we had, the people, the promoters, everything about it was just like perfection. The guest DJs that they would have, yeah, everything about it was great.
That's awesome.
And that's just that was like a high point of my my DJ career of you know, we were doing it so often there, and it was always at least 1,000 people. It was great. So
I smell a reunion. I smell a reunion.
We should do a House of Blues reunion. That'd be great. I wonder if they would even allow us to
I wonder
do one.
Was it around that time? I'm gonna ask it anyway.
What?
So House of Blues, was it always like in what's the word looking for? Competing with the Riv back then?
The Riv was before the House of Blues. They like Tony Batoy and all them doing
We're
those.
talking way farther.
Yeah, it was pretty far apart. The Riv was like the early 90s, where the House of Blues was the late 90s.
Right.
Yeah, because I remember, like, you know, people, like you said, people like go to the House of Blues, and it was more like a club feel than like. And
the Vic, we had the Vic too.
Sure. Yeah. So we were doing Congress Theater. Right? We did the Brighton Theater. We did.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
Before that was on Archer. Before that closed down, they did a party there.
That was huge.
Yeah, man.
And you know
what? We had the Congress Theater when I was with Profound Image. This was with my buddy Lyndon.
Mm-hmm.
We brought Real Life there.
Oh shit!
Send Me an Angel, God Tonight. Yeah. I actually got during sound check. I got to sing. I was like 18, 17 with them God Tonight. I was, you know, whatever. With the lead. I wish I had phones back then so we got video. It's in my memory, so it's really nice.
So you're a singer too?
Wow.
Yeah. So no, I'm not a singer. It was horrendous, but it was fun, right? We got to do it, and it was a great memory, right? Well, that event, I still remember this. Since they had the band equipment on the stage, similar to the House of Blues, they didn't want us DJing there, so we were DJing up. You know, it's kind of like an opera box, the same way it was at the Congress.
Mm-hmm.
They had no monitor up there, so I go up there, and I think it was DJ Eclipse was playing, Danny Salgado. And I go up there, and I just hear, you know, you're hearing the backbeats, right? And he's off beat, he's this and that. I'm like, fuck is going on, man? Where's the monitor at?
Yeah.
Oh, we don't have a monitor. I'm like, oh, hell no. So I didn't play that night.
I wouldn't either.
Like,
No, hell
I'm like, no,
So
I'm
that's-
not doing
so
it. I told my buddy.
That's
'cause
part of
he was
his
throwing-
rider. You gotta have a monitor.
Yes, that's okay. We'll go back to that actually. I like USB equipment and definitely two monitors if I can have them both sides because I'm deaf anyways.
With subs.
So, yeah.
With subs. I need those monitors have to have subs.
You know, got a little thump to it. So you like going to my house then, man, because I got two 15 EVs with an 18-inch sub in the house.
Oh shit.
It thumps in the house. So
So your neighbors hit you?
nah, they don't. They're good people. So except the one next to me, she's crazy, but yeah, whatever. But yeah, so we that was the one thing where I'm like, I wanted to play that event. You know, I had a great fucking, you know, I don't know why we didn't even check that. Like, you know, we were there for sound check. I'm, you know, sitting hanging out with the band and everything, and then when we were ready to play, I go up there and I'm like, dude, I'm hearing like 5 different beats up here. Like, what the fuck is happening? So yeah, that was an interesting.
You don't like split cues?
You know what? I mean, yeah, you can mix in your headphones and everything, and that's fine. But you know, I really don't.
Yeah.
Especially how loud it was there and everything.
Yeah,
else,
and then
you know,
you get in that.
you're already feeling like the backbeats to it, so it's kind of, you know, yeah, you can do it, you know, or whatever. It's not hard to do, but yeah, it's
Yeah,
hard
do
to
me a favor, just
concentrate.
play a mix.
that's how I learned.
Yeah.
When I was young, I was 14, and I had the equipment at my house. I would play till 2, 3 in the morning. I didn't have the music on. I was on my headphones.
Oh,
you know?
yeah?
So I'm making these programs in my headphones, you know, my track list and everything for these events that are happening in the week or on the weekend. So I'm doing that till like 2 in the morning. I'm going to sleep. I wake up. I go to school. Come home. I'm doing it again. You know, or whatever. And you know, when I would come home from school, nobody would be there, so I can put the music out loud. But shit, once, you know, my mom got home from work or whatever, and she didn't want to hear that.
Yep.
You know, I would, you know, either have it real low or I'd do it in my headphones. You know, so I was able to do it, but I got a preference now. I need a monitor. So
Yeah.
Gabby Get Down had a question real quick. Do you own any more T-shirts, hats, or vinyl?
I have.
Speaking of,
vinyl,
I like
yeah.
that shirt.
But man, you know what? I'm gonna do another run soon. Everyone keeps asking me about the shirts. I gave a bunch of them away. Gabriel, you have like 2 of these shirts. What do you need more shirts for? I go through what is it? Dave C's wife. She does it. Cutting Edge
Yeah.
Creations. She they do my shirts and my hats, and so if you want any hats, contact them and they'll get them to order.
Awesome.
All right, back to our questions. If
Sure.
you had to do an opening DJ set, who would you like to open up for?
Ooh. Shit. That's a good one.
Oh, look, 3J. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, why not? I'd do 3J, Patrick Wayne, you know, whatever. I'd say like Louis Vega,
Oh, okay.
Roger Sanchez.
All right.
Yeah, I would go with like deep house like that.
Damn, that's dope.
Yeah, Louis Vega would be cool.
Yeah, Louis Vega's.
Or some masters at work. Let's just do both of them. Hey, man, Kenny, dope. Yeah, there you go.
Do you prefer to do private events or the bars and the clubs?
I do bars and clubs. I don't like doing private events. I've had many people over the years ask me to do birthday parties or you know, like weddings. Weddings, definitely no. So
Wow.
many things that can go wrong, and I don't want some, you know, I don't
You
want
don't
my
do your fault.
issues to be the downfall of their big day, right? So I never did private events. Like I would go, like say someone has the equipment there and they're like, hey man, can you spin at my birthday party? Absolutely, yeah. I've done that many times. So I'll go and I'll play for somebody. But for me to actually, you know, bring the equipment and be the point person and everything, no. I prefer to do the public places. So,
That's the first. That's the first. I never heard it that way.
yeah, no. Yeah,
Nothing goes wrong at a wedding. Whoever told you that to me.
Stop.
Right.
Nothing ever
I know
goes wrong at a
plenty
wedding, bro.
I know plenty of wedding
Says
DJs.
the, says the one
trust
who
me.
has
Yeah,
two
I'm
interesting. Right. Says the one who has 2 interesting stories about weddings.
Yeah, man.
I got more.
no.
But those are my 2 most interesting ones.
Yeah, no. Like, again, there's so much that can go wrong. You got to have so much equipment. You got backups to backups, you know, just in case something, backup, you know, controller, backup laptop, back, you know, and too
I
many
have 2
horror
of
stories.
everything every time.
That's
Exactly.
him.
So
Every fucking time.
You're a good private DJ.
No, right.
I don't want to do that.
No, this one here, because of his OCD, it kicks in during weddings and
That
stuff
would be
like.
me.
Yeah.
Hey,
I get
that's
it.
why he's got no gray hair and I do.
Yeah.
Why is that, Al? Anyways,
Because of the wedding.
right. What's your
DNA.
Yeah.
What's your DJ's pet peeve?
DJ pet peeve. No monitor.
No matter.
Yeah, no monitor. Yeah, that's pretty much that's my biggest pet peeve.
Okay.
While being a stagehand, man,
Yeah.
I would have thought the first thing he would have said was people on stage.
You know what? I mean, no, I mean, I don't personally care. You know, or whatever.
Unless they're in your ear.
Unless they're in my face, yeah. You know, whatever. Or, hey man, can you play this song? Or pulling on me when I'm trying to play, you know, whatever. Because again, You know, I play kind of quick, you know, or whatever. So I'm always searching for a track, and I'm ready to get into the next track and this and that. So when I'm playing, I like to just be in the zone and left alone. Unless I have like a track going on, I pull my headphones off. I'll sit there and talk with somebody. That's fine. But yeah, my biggest pet peeve is when I go to a place and they don't have a good monitor. Or if it's like a monitor that's not, you know, in the right place where, oh, they got like 20 feet in front of you, it's on the floor. Then I'm like, come on, man. I mean, what? No, at least have it within like 10 feet of you. You know, on the side.
I got one that put it like right.
Oh, right in your face. Nice.
Right, no. It's like right at the ear, but you get on the microphone, and no matter how far,
then you get the feedback.
Yeah, then you get the feedback for sure.
I'm not a microphone DJ, you know, or whatever. Nobody wants to hear me talk.
Right.
So I just kind of play and do my thing.
I gotta wish people happy birthdays and shit.
I get that, yeah, because you're
birthday shout outs.
Sure, yeah.
What's your DJ's worst fear?
Shit, the equipment shutting down in the middle of it, or hitting the wrong cue button.
That's never happened to you.
Oh, it's happened to me many a time.
How about load the wrong track into the wrong track?
Oh yeah, dude, I've blended the same track where I thought I loaded a new track, and I'm sitting there, I started going, and I look, I'm like, I'm blending the same track over. So I just hit it, and then I'd hit the brake again and go into another track, and make it seamless, like people didn't even notice. Yep. But I've hit the wrong cue. It's kind of like back in the day when we did vinyl, and you lift up the wrong needle.
Oh,
and you're like, oh fuck,
Yeah.
It's a little bit easier now because you can do your cue points.
That's when you put it back on a backspin.
Yeah, whatever. But yeah, that and then or if it shuts down completely. I haven't had that happen, but I've seen it. Where like the equipment just freezes up and whatever, and they have to restart it and all that. So that
happened to me once.
Yeah, that's what happens with
Radio Star.
Sue, that is a personal question, and we're not going to ask him that.
Stupid.
That's Gino. Gino does the male stripping.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, tips in his G-string, made his living, and that's how he became a dentist.
Hey, bro,
that's Rick Guerrero's favorite thing to say.
Strip
Rick Guerrero's a twerker. I don't know if you noticed that he did that while he was batting when we were playing softball. He was twerking before the bat. He got the pitcher all riled up, and he hit a home run.
Nice.
A couple more questions. Sure. Who is your Mount Rushmore of DJs?
Holy shit! I got a huge Mount Rushmore. I'd say, Bad Boy Bill, Little Louie Vega,
okay,
Kenny Dope, DJ Sneak.
There's only 4 guys on there. Calm down. No.
Yeah, there you go. Then. There's too many. Dude, I could just keep spewing names, man. But yeah, those are the top guys.
All right.
So.
That's awesome.
And then I have one more question. It's the last question, but it also Rico Show had a question, and I think the 2 questions could tie in together.
Okay.
So I'm gonna ask what Rico asked you. He said that how long do you think upcoming young DJs should shadow DJs like yourselves in this day?
I don't think there's a time limit for it. Again, some people catch on quicker than others, and some people put in more work than others. So I really wouldn't put a time limit on it. It just as long as we see you doing your effort and your work and you're putting in your time, climbing the ladder like we said before. Yeah, man, we're going to give you that opportunity. I don't think it's any sort of timeline where like, oh, you got to watch us for a year before you get that chance or whatever. Right. No, it's not like that. I would just say, do it the right way. Be humble about it. Don't try to get all cocky. Oh, yeah, I bought this equipment and blah blah. Just because you have money to buy equipment doesn't mean you're a good DJ. So put your programs together, do what you can, and if you're good, like I said, I mentioned the DJs before that do it and do it well, and we give them opportunities and they shine. So.
As he says, everybody can own a Porsche. Not everybody could drive it.
There you go. So, I would like to get one of those one day.
Yeah, me too.
Hey, there's Victor Salazar.
What's going on, Vic?
Yeah.
What's up, Vic?
Victor Salazar is one of the nicest people on the planet.
Yes, he
really is.
He is. We had a very interesting conversation when I was at Cinco de Mayo.
You should have him on the show.
It's in the talks.
Yeah.
It's in the talks. I have known that man for about going on 14 years now.
Oh, shit. I'm sorry, Vic.
Very long time.
I'm so sorry, Victor.
Double that, but
yeah.
I'm so sorry, Victor. I'm so sorry to hear that, sir.
And then last question. Any advice to upcoming DJs?
Oh, I touched on that before.
Yeah.
Like I said, just put your work in, learn the craft.
Stay in your lane.
Do it the right way. Stay in your lane. Be humble about it. And we'll give you the opportunity to shine. And when you get that opportunity, don't crack. Do your best. But yeah.
We don't care if you shake. Just don't shake too much.
Yeah,
When you shake the needle off the table.
We actually had a DJ. I don't remember what his name was, and I wouldn't say it anyways. But man, that guy, we actually called him DJ Shakes because he was always shaking.
Really?
And he was nervous, and we felt bad, or whatever. And we would always try to calm him down because, like I said, we all start somewhere.
You know how you fix that? Throw pennies.
Don't do that.
No,
man.
I'm teasing.
But yeah,
I'm messing around.
we're not freshmen here. So. Actually, yeah, you would be a freshman if you started.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Throw pennies.
No, that's the old school way.
Take their mind off it.
Yeah, that's what we basically have to do, man. Just put your head down, don't look at the crowd, and just do your thing, whatever. Like you're in your bedroom again.
See,
so.
I learned that like late in my DJ career. Like I always just have like the Serato face. I always looking at a Serato I ever looked up.
So now you got that resting bitch face.
No, I don't. So I always have to. So I always have to like look up now, and see the crowd because one day you may look up and there's no one in front of you. So
yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's nice to embrace the crowd, and it's nice to feed off the energy. When you get comfortable with your mixing, obviously, then you just kind of feed off the energy of everybody, and that's a great feeling. Especially, we're older now, so our crowds are older, so a lot of them don't get up and dance, which kind of sucks. But
they got bad knees. Mind your business.
Exactly.
I got bad
that's
knees.
what I'm saying. I understand. I got a bad back. So,
but you twerk.
I do not twerk. That's Rick. I leave that to Rick, man. I don't. Hell no. If I twerk, I'm gonna throw my back. I was playing golf. I almost threw my back out there. I was playing baseball. I was like, my back tightened up there. So it's just like, yeah.
You play golf too?
It was a charity event. Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't play golf. I played it that day.
Okay, cool. I thought you went like religiously.
Oh no, hell no. Yeah. I got my own set of clubs. I bought them from somebody. But I'm not good. I'm not a good golfer.
Sue said, "Not this chick. I still move."
yeah. Oh, Sue's always out there. Yeah. She's definitely. She's definitely. We got the few people that are out there dancing, whatever. But it's not as much as it used to be. So, and I get it.
Thanks for letting me know, Party Rock. Appreciate it. We got Southsiders here.
Oh, there's Evie. Evie's good people too.
She's
man.
like,
she got a great family.
She's like, I'm an old lady that still danced to Ryke and Vic Salazar.
She is always out there. Yes, her and her husband and her kids, man. She has a great family.
Wait a minute, she brings her kids to concerts?
Oh, just the outdoor events. She was there for the softball event.
That's awesome.
But yeah, like the Cicero Fest and stuff like that. Yeah, the all family thing. They're very family oriented.
So it's funny because I just saw a buddy of mine that actually was hanging out with his parents, and he used to be an old b-boy breaker from back in the day.
Shit. Okay.
And I saw him at the club. I'm like, what the hell are you doing here? He was like, oh, I came with my parents. I was like, what?
That's cool.
Nah, it was cool as hell, yeah. But I was just like, that's not something you hear all the time.
No, it's not, yeah.
So, I went to the club with my mom and dad. It's like, what?
I never did that myself, but yeah. It's cool, though.
I never did that, but shouts out to
my
everybody
daughters.
that does it.
My daughters came to the bars with me when I played.
There you go.
So, yeah.
That's cool.
There you go.
Yeah, and they were at the Cicero Fest last year when I closed it out.
And those are the only two girls that could probably be on stage. That's it.
Yeah.
How was that closing out Cicero?
Oh, it was great. I appreciate 3J, Dave, and Patrick for giving me that opportunity, man. I had a great time. Yeah, man. I went after Metro, which I'm like, man, that guy should be closing it out because Metro's phenomenal. But yeah, man, the opportunity was a blessing, and I had a phenomenal time. And a great crowd. I mean, it was packed.
No shit.
And we did have a lot of people dancing that day, so I fed off the energy of the crowd, and I thought the mix went well.
Now, here's $1 million question.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
You got $1 million for me?
Yeah. As soon as you answer this question.
Yeah, it was 100 episodes, so I should get something.
Yeah. Maybe I'll give you a button off the no, I'm joking.
So, memories.
Do you guys practice your sets? Do you guys have a set that you guys work on before you hit that stage?
You know what? It depends, I guess. Sometimes I like to set up something, and sometimes I don't. I just like to go on the fly. I'll have a playlist of a bunch of tracks that I want to work with because I know where I'm going and I know what, like especially with New Wave. New Wave, on the fly. I've been playing it for 30 years. I don't need a set for that.
Right.
I just go through my folder. I know exactly what everything, throw alphabetical order, and I know how to find my tracks. And those I never do a preset set. House music, sometimes, I will, I'll just, the music off the top of your head already, right. So you can kind of just throw 20 tracks in a row, and then whatever. And then it doesn't mean that you have to go in order that way, but, that's what I'm going to play. So do I practice an actual set? I'd say 80% of the time, no.
Okay.
I might just put it together, or whatever, and I might go down the list. Like, give you guys a little secret of what I did with the radio tracks a couple of times. I'll just go into a file that I have and go alphabetical order. So if you listen to some of my mixes on the radio, it's in alphabetical order. And some people won't catch that because a lot of people don't know the names of the tracks.
Right.
But it is. I'll just be like, okay, just keep going. And,
that's cool.
I need to get a mix out there, 26 minutes. Usually it's about 10, 11 tracks. boom, I just go right in a row, you know, or whatever. So
see, I learned, like, don't prepare your sets because you don't even know, like, when you walk it in there, like.
Especially when you're going to these old school places, the old school concerts, and
Yeah.
you're doing these old school concerts. There's only so much that you can play and get away with.
Especially with that, when you start to go to places where you know other people are gonna play similar to you.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
If you do a set that you know you're tied to, and then the person in front of you plays about 3 or 4 tracks from your set, what you gonna do? You
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Are you going to
That's
stick
why
with
I
that
said-
set? No, you kind of got to veer off it. That's why I say you throw 20, 30 tracks in a folder, and then, you know, oh, this guy played this track, so I'm not going to play it, or this girl played this track, whatever. So, yeah, you know, to have a kind of pre-done set.
Yeah, I learned that because I remember, like, a couple years ago when I was preparing for my set at Pride North, I had, like, 2 folders of what I'm going to play.
Yeah.
When I get there, I'm like,
It's completely different.
you're right. I was like, you know what? Let me just do whatever. And they
Well,
loved it.
I love the fact
I remember I closed out Pride North, and I was like, I got the set prepared. I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna play that. I'm gonna play this.
Yep.
And I was all prepared. And I got there an hour before my set, and I'm like, damn,
Oh,
I
shit.
may have to switch it up a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's what I ended up doing.
Especially you guys at, like, those bars and stuff like that, that's like a variety, and we're doing top 40 and stuff like that. How do you come up with just a set, you know, or whatever? You kind of got to feed off the crowd. And,
usually
and
the
stuff
beginning.
like
That
for
too.
in
Yeah,
the
you
beginning,
gotta-
it's
That's
see
why I
what kind of
sweat so
crowd you're
damn
looking
much.
play
at.
whatever. It's like play whatever, and then
Okay.
as people start coming, I don't
Then
want
you
to.
start to kind of
Yeah,
play
then I start playing, the cliche shit,
towards them,
Yeah,
towards
you
what
know.
they're going to listen.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool then. So.
like Sweet Caroline shit like that. No, I'm joking.
Hey,
Hey, Boston, dude.
I played it on Thursday at Hacienda.
Well, you know
Sweet
what? I mean,
Caroline.
those tracks
I mean,
are
towards
gonna,
the end of the night, yeah,
Yeah.
but that's not a track that you're
No.
gonna put in the very, very beginning of
No,
the
you're
night.
gonna do that
No,
about
I
2 in
did
the
it-
morning when they got about 10 deep in, you know.
Right,
so,
thank you
yeah.
very much. Yeah, because
No.
you're not gonna. No, you're
No,
shut up. You're
I
at a
play-
Cubs game.
no.
You were at a Cubs game. That's not fair.
I was at the Cubs
Hacienda.
game.
Yeah, you just said Hacienda.
Yeah, I was. You mean after the Cubs game when they came by?
Yeah, you would play Sweet Caroline because
Yeah,
they're
and
already
I play-
shit faced.
But I didn't play it. I played it
That's what
towards
it is,
like
yeah.
I played it towards the middle of my set though. I didn't play it like
Yeah, but
towards
you
the
gotta
end.
What's the
understand
middle of
some-
your set? Is it like midnight?
Nah, it was like I was there from like what 5 to close, no 3 to close,
Yeah, 3 in the afternoon till close till 3 in the morning, 3 to 3.
12 hours?
no 3 to 2. So
Oh my bad, I was an hour off.
11
Sorry,
hours,
my bad.
jeez.
so I played it like around what 9 o'clock.
Yeah,
Yeah, so it wasn't. It was still people
But
still.
still,
there.
I mean, because if the game ended, what? You know, was it a day game?
Yeah, it was a day game.
Oh,
so
there you go.
game
They were
ended
lit
around-
by 4
They were-
o'clock.
yeah, they were
So
slots,
9
bro.
o'clock, that's, yeah, Jesus.
Yeah.
So.
So
yeah, they're in the fucking bars pre-gaming. What are you talking about?
Oh, yeah,
Stupid.
absolutely. They've already
I'm-
been playing.
yeah.
They've already been drinking 10 hours.
When I
by the
used
time
to
you
work for
played
Bar
it.
Louie, when I worked for
Oh, I
Bar
used to
Louie,
love
and I
Bar
used to be
Louie.
over at fucking Wrigleyville,
Yeah.
they used to have me there all day. I'd start at, if it's a day game, I'd be there probably 11 in the morning till close, till
Holy
1, 2 o'clock in the
shit,
morning.
man.
uh,
Yeah, see, no, I couldn't do that.
Nito has a question. Nito said that should you stick to tracks the crowd wants or new tracks you think the crowd will vibe to?
I like a mixture of it, to be honest with you. Of course, you got to kind of play a little bit towards the crowd because you want to keep that crowd going. But it's always nice to, introduce them to new tracks. So something that you feel is good with your set, kind of blends through it, or whatever. Absolutely, man. You got to show these guys some new music, especially some of the Southsiders that are stuck on the same. They get her percolated 5 times in a night. And it's a
said
great
this.
track, but I mean, come on,
we said this when we had that Northside Southside conversation.
We're not going to talk about that anymore. Remember what the counselor said. Stop
Shut
that.
up! But we had that conversation. We had that conversation. And Maria said that too.
Yeah.
She's like she ain't trying to hear Yolanda 5 times
Yeah.
throughout the night. So
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying.
Nito
So-
just commented too.
Yeah, he
so.
did. So yeah, like I said, and it's it's fine to play the old music. There's nothing wrong with it, or whatever. There's a following for it. People want to hear it. But it is nice to show them some new stuff as well, or whatever, because you can't have new classics if you don't bring them up.
Nah, I think I know the answer to this question, but I'm gonna ask you: Do you break it in? Do you break in the new tracks later in your set, or
It's a mixture.
okay?
Yeah, you could do like you kind of start off with the tracks they know, bring them out there, and then kind of mix it up from there.
Victor just commented. He says Selena fans dislike Yolanda.
Okay, I get that. Yeah.
So
Come on, Vic.
That's racist. That's racist, bro.
what's
That's
wrong?
racist.
What's wrong
Well,
with-
I get it. I mean,
I
she's not here because of
Because Yolanda's a sister and Selena's a Latina.
Yeah.
So that's kind of racist.
Oh, come on.
right.
Now we're getting in a whole other topic.
Right, exactly. This
Damn.
one here.
Wasn't expecting that.
I was just fucking busting balls.
All
I
right.
got it.
So, DJ Ryke, any last words?
No, you're
before we
not
get
gonna
out of
die.
here?
Oh man, just appreciate you guys, man. You
No,
guys do
we
a
do.
phenomenal show.
Thank you, man. We
I'm
appreciate
really
it.
humbled and honored to be here. And thank you to everybody that tuned in, man. You know, we had a lot of great group of people. I hope I didn't miss anybody, you know, because all the shout-outs I give, I get about $20 for each one. So, so kind of low on cash, so hopefully I got everybody. But but yeah, just thanks to everybody for tuning in, for all the support throughout the years. And I'm not going anywhere. I'll be around, just taking a little break.
Okay. We'll still see you around.
I'll be around.
He'll have his USBs in his wallet. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's always available.
Yeah.
Always available.
It'll be in his back pocket. Ready
That's
to
what
play.
I said, but right next to the wallet, bro.
For sure, yeah.
He's going to get one of those specialty wallets that fits the USBs in there.
Do they have one? That'd be actually pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, they do.
That's a good... Do they really?
Yeah, they have them for, like, business guys.
Okay.
Yeah, they pop them in there all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Stupid.
Or you can get a wallet that's, you know, like the old biker ones with the lighter case.
Okay, yeah.
And you can fit a USB in there.
Fuck, okay.
There you go. You don't
Actually,
smoke,
not a
do you?
bad idea. No,
You
I don't smoke.
Okay, don't worry.
No.
Fucking we'll have a whole case
Good.
of USBs in there.
It's good to
No
not
smoke.
smoke.
And I owe you an apology about earlier, man. I'm sorry about the heat, man.
Oh, yeah, it was a little warm, and I overheat.
No,
so
it's
I
all right.
apologize for getting a little
You
lightheaded.
scared me. I didn't know if I was going to get the fan or not.
No, I was good. Yeah, but, yeah, no.
All right, dude, listen.
So, it is what it is.
I'm older than you. Trust me. I feel
know.
you.
Yeah,
I feel you, bro.
I run hot.
Yeah, we run hot
90% of the time.
Yeah,
so,
you need to
but then when I started talking, I got the headphones on. I started getting sweaty. So
yeah, don't worry about it.
It's all good though.
You're good now.
We got through it.
We got through it. Thank you, Gabby Get Down. He said congrats on the 100th episode.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Vic. And yes, Vic, you have to get on the show very soon.
Yes, for sure.
So,
Yes, for sure. You get all those guys, all the D6 guys. I know you had Gene already.
Yeah.
But yeah, all those guys, great guys, and I know you had Dave C. You know, you had 3J, Patrick Wayne.
Yeah.
Patrick's in the area too, isn't he?
Right down the block.
Is he? Okay. Is he really right down the block?
Yes,
Holy
he
shit.
is.
You want to go sit, knock on his door, say hi?
Stop it.
I'm
Stop
gonna go
it.
grab his records. So Numo will be good on the show.
Yeah, for sure, man. For sure. Yeah,
get all
definitely.
those guys.
We
man.
have
I
Caveman
know.
next week.
Oh, do you? Okay,
Yeah,
Armando.
Caveman will be here next week.
Oh, there you go. You got another D6 guy then.
Yeah, man. I want all you guys on here, man. Seriously,
Caveman,
man. Because
dude.
number one, I mean, I know you guys from back in the day. Number one, I know you guys from back in the day, and to see you guys fucking still shining on that stage and killing it. Absolutely fucking. I was amazed when I was at Chino's show. I was like, because it's been a while since I get to go out and you know, just hang out. And dude, I was like a kid. You want to talk about fucking people staring at the fucking? That was me. Sorry, I was staring. I was like, dude, these guys fucking killing it.
Yeah.
Killing it, man.
The ironic thing about you having Caveman next week is that was me and him for a good 4 or 5 years at Orbit and all these places back to back. It would be me and then him playing all the time. I would play or him and then me, because it was always because he would play like techno and more of the underground music. So to kind of have it different, it would be new wave and then techno, you know, or whatever, new wave house or whatever. Yeah. And so that's kind of ironic that you actually have him next week. So that's
no, it's not ironic. It's just how the world turns, obviously, because I didn't know anything about it.
30 years later, here we go. We're back to back again. And he's not even tuned in. Where's he at?
It's all right.
I'm
going to text him, like, where the fuck you at, man?
Yeah, where is K?
No, he's a very busy guy. He's a lawyer, so yeah, he's a busy guy. So
we got some luck questions for him. No,
I have a lot of questions for K-Van.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of K-Man, no bullshit.
K-Man's great, dude. I love, you know, like I said,
all these guys
all
are
the
great.
DJs that I was blessed to be surrounded by. They're all phenomenal DJs and even better people.
You know, it's just like you mentioned a DJ earlier, and unfortunately, some of these guys do tend to fall off, and it's like, I don't know if they lose their luster, or they lose that whatever, but they try, you know, I'll never lose it, bro. I mean, I was itching when I was off, you know. I'm like, I got to get back in here, man.
Yeah.
This is killing me. It's killing me.
I mean, you guys, you know, you guys are out there doing the private events and the public events, and
more so that's why I hear with private events.
Yeah, it's like embedded in you, whereas you know, some people it gets tiring, and I applaud you for not being tired of it. That's
I'm a one-man band too. So, I don't have a crew.
Oh man,
I carry like the lady yesterday.
There's no way I'd be tired after 2 weeks.
Yeah, no, the lady
like,
yesterday.
You know what? I'm out. I'm done.
Because I had the 181, which is a QSE, the single 18, and dude, I pulled it out of my truck. She was like, "You need help?" I'm like, "Nah, I'm good. I'm good."
Got a ramp or anything?
No.
Good? Jesus Christ.
No, he doesn't even have a cart.
I have a cart. I don't have that little gate cart you got. That little fucking folding cart. That garbage ass cart.
It holds its weight.
No, it doesn't.
As long as it does the job, right?
It does.
Point A to
It
point
does
B.
do the job.
It doesn't.
Point A to point B.
Exactly.
Hey, Ryke, ask him what happened to his other one.
What happened?
What happened?
It broke.
Wheels fell off?
No. The
it broke.
It broke. But I fixed it.
It broke.
I fixed it.
It broke.
But I fixed it.
You couldn't put your fucking book bag on the thing now.
That's a lie.
Without it caving in. Get the fuck out of here.
I helped out Rampage a few weeks ago at Bourbon Street. It was a breast cancer fundraiser. And he's like, hey, man, you want to do the event with me? Play a little bit. They want to hear some new wave. I'm like, yeah, absolutely, man. So the day of the event, he's like, hey, man, you got a sub. And I'm like, yeah, I got the 18-inch EV sub, whatever, I'll bring it. Just bringing that out once. And I was alone, whatever. He helped me when I got there, but bringing it out of my house to the car, I was like, yeah, I'm not doing this again. Next time, so you got any speakers? No, I don't. No.
What do you got, the SRX?
So, what do you mean, for the
EV, the sub?
The EV, it was, I don't even know the brand. I think it's like ELX, EV,
oh,
ELX.
Yeah,
the ELX.
That's not that heavy. Come on,
it's
right.
not.
That's not.
But
it's just bulky.
It is bulky,
big,
whatever. And again, I'm bringing it from the basement up the stairs and then, out to the car. And again, it's not even heavy. It's actually pretty light.
No, yeah.
But it's just a pain in the ass.
It's awkward.
So for me to just bring one sub and you guys are bringing multiple subs, multiple highs, all that, I'm like, how the fuck you guys do it? I wouldn't. No, there's no way. You'd have to pay me $100,000 every fucking event to be able to do that every time.
Well, you're worth it, so you might get that.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, you're worth it. So.
And yes, Vic, I agree with you. The rock and roller cart is the best. I have one.
It's garbage.
I have
Stop
one.
it. No, it's not.
Okay.
A rock and roller cart.
Vic's another private DJ that's, that does a lot.
I'm sorry. I hate that, man. I bought myself a nice folding, or not folding, but one of the big boys, the refrigerator dolly. Oh yeah. Because I'm putting two subs.
I remember that. Yeah,
I put two subs on that car. I could run that thing with two subs, tops, all my lighting, my controller, everything on there. Strap it down and come in one stop.
Jesus Christ!
Not with that rock and roller. Not with that rock and roller.
You can strap it down if you want.
I look like a UPS guy on Christmas in the mall.
Yeah, see, I don't want to look like that. I'm bringing one speaker out. I'm like, yeah, I'm done.
I love that rock and roller until the fucking wheels fall off. Yeah. I guess I use it till the wheels fall off.
The Numo has that too. So, alrighty, guys. Real quick before we get out of here, I just
shoot out your socials.
Well, before we do that, real quick before we get out of here, I wanted to mention that this Sunday that we are going to be at
yes, we will
at the summer festival, daytime festival over at 115 Bourbon Street. So again,
I've never been there.
You never been to 115?
No.
Jesus Christ, I've been there a few times. Man. It's a big ass venue. It's humongous.
There's like 30 different rooms in there.
Right.
You know what? Like I said, with the Rampage one, he asked me to do a fundraiser. I'm like, yeah, cool. So I get there, and you kind of park in the back, and you're bringing stuff in. And I'm like, which room is it in? Because I'm thinking, they have the huge one, then they have the outdoor patio, then they have the actual nightclub one. There's another one that I've never even seen before.
Yeah.
No shit.
And it has two little bars in there, and you can even cut it in half, but they had the whole thing open. They had a buffet of food and this and that. I'm like, dude, I've never even been in this room. I've been in this place probably 100 fucking times, and I've never seen this. And I think it was newer. They just built it. But I'm like, how are they still expanding in this space? Yeah. And the space isn't getting bigger, but there's just expanding different rooms. And I'm like, this is insane, dude.
It's called Monopoly, my friend.
Yeah.
Buy everybody out.
There's just, I'm telling you, there's got to be about 9 rooms in that fucking place.
It is.
And I'm not even exaggerating. And they're all decent sized rooms.
Yeah.
No, I saw this guy's video.
Yeah. I think one room holds 1,200. The club holds like 500. Then they got the area where they have the bands in the front. That's probably another 300-400. It's like, you could fit probably about 4,000 people in that whole place.
It's like and it's on a strip mall. It's like it's like a mini mall inside that damn place.
Yeah.
So every time a neighbor moves out, he just expands.
Stupid.
No, I don't think it gets bigger. That's the thing. It's weird because all those stores. I think there's like a dollar store and all kind of liquor store, all that. And the only thing about it is the parking, man. The parking.
Yeah, it's true.
You got to be careful where you park. I think during the daytime, depends on what day it is, I guess. But most of them are just for those businesses because they're like, hey, we need it for our business. But I think after a while, I think it opens up, wherever. But for the daytime, I'm not sure how they worked it out. But I parked on the street. I was able to find street
parking.
Or whatever. Did you? Yeah. You can either valet or street park, but you got to be careful where you park in that parking lot because
the valet will park in the wrong spot too. No, I'm joking.
No, the valet has the valet.
That's the bad part about it. You pull in. I think like the first 4 rows are valet. They're reserved, so you can't even park there. But then if you go outside to park, outside of that valet area, most of them say, parking for Subway or parking for whatever.
Yeah.
So you got to be careful where you're parking.
But what were the numbers from that concert that he was at when I was sick? What was that?
It was a lot.
Was that their first daytime?
Yeah, the single.
I think they had like 1,200 people.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
it was a lot.
I think that was what their final number was, 1,200, 1,300. I don't know if Dave or 3J is still on.
Holy shit.
I think they had like 1,200 people.
It was a lot.
Yeah.
It was a lot.
Yeah, I know because you went to like 2 different rooms, right?
Yeah,
they did. They had the main area and then they had the club area.
Yeah,
as well.
because I counted 2 different rooms in this video because I was half dead. I'm watching
and
the
that
video.
one I believe is 2 different rooms too.
Yeah.
They'll have 2 in a room. And then they'll have 2 different rooms as well.
That's good. Wow. That's
Yeah.
So speaking of 115, again, this Sunday, the daytime summer festival with 2 in a room performing, and then you also got the DJs like Bobby D, Metro, Tim Spinning, Shomer, Gene Hunt, Mixing Oliver, Chris Lara, Dave C, 3J, Patrick Wayne, Hyro, and Myra, Lil Manny, Lil Segura, and DJ Seven is gonna be a fun night. And the industry DJs will be there because myself and I will be there. So
I'll be there.
If you haven't, get your tickets at daytimesummerfestival.eventbrite.com.
You're driving.
It'll be a good time.
I'm driving?
Yeah, you're driving.
They always put on a good show, so
yeah, of course.
I'm expecting it to not be any
Vic
different.
said 1,200 people.
Yep.
That was the final count.
1,200 people. Yeah, he was there.
It was a lot of people. Yeah, he was there. It was a lot of people.
I saw their videos, bro. Jesus
It was
Christ.
a party.
Yeah, no, they had it. And I think this one is the same where it's got the main room, the big room where it's like, you could fit like 1,000 people in there. And then they're going to have the outdoor area.
Okay.
Which is like the outdoor patio. I don't think they're doing the nightclub with this one, if I'm not mistaken. But, yeah, it should be a good time. So,
I can't wait.
so, and it looks like the weather's going to hold up, too. I
hope so.
Yeah,
it looks like
it
the weather's
is.
Good, so.
I hope so.
DJ Ryke.
Yep.
Thank you very
for
much,
joining
brother.
us.
Thank you, bro.
Thank
This
you
is
guys,
an honor.
man. I
This is an
appreciate
honor.
it. Thank you so much, man.
No
I had a
problem.
great
Thank
time.
you, bro.
So,
This is awesome.
We appreciate you for coming through. I really appreciate it.
For sure, man. I'm grateful for being here.
Thank you so much.
We got to bring him back to do a live set.
Oh, okay.
I'm down, no, absolutely.
All right.
Let me know.
We got to do a live
I'll
set.
do it on the turntables. I'll even bring vinyl.
Bring them crates.
Yeah.
Real quick, Ryke, shout out your socials.
I got Facebook, DJ Ryke Chicago. I think it's DJ Ryke on that one. I got Facebook, Instagram, and Mixcloud. Mixcloud's mixcloud.com/DJ Ryke.
Okay.
I got Twitch as well. That's twitch.com/DJ Ryke Chicago.
And where's your remixes?
My remixes?
Yeah.
Yeah, people want to know, especially RS1. He want to know where you can get your tracks.
I don't release any tracks for the public.
Oh, really?
No,
Okay.
all my edits are mine because, like I said, I like to do my own. But when I start doing the music production, that'll all be available soon.
Awesome.
So I am working with somebody that's going to remain nameless at the time. They did post up in here, so I'm not, but I won't say who it is because we're keeping it a secret. But yeah, we'll be doing some tracks soon, and those will be available for purchase.
Okay, cool.
The remixes are mine.
They're mine and mine only.
They're mine and mine only. Sorry.
They're like-
I do have a couple people
they're
that
like
have them,
white
and
labels.
if you reach out to me, I may throw some at you. But yeah,
Paper, rock, scissors.
so yeah.
They're
If
like
you guys want them, no. But yeah, the guys in the chat.
Yes.
they're like white labels. That's what it is.
Yeah, exactly, right? Remember back in the day, you'd cover up the labels with a sticker so nobody knew what it was?
Exactly.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah,
right
that's
there.
Bill and
That's why I
Julia.
don't use laptops, so you can't see what they are. So,
Well,
and most of them just say,
they do have
most of them.
DJ AM mode
Oh, yeah.
where it hides all the labels.
Oh, does it really?
Yeah.
See, I don't use
That's
a
right.
laptop most of the time. But I didn't know they had that. That's cool.
It's real
So.
smart about that.
Yep.
All right, guys. Again, that's the end of our show. Thank you guys
DJ
for
Ryke.
tuning in.
Thank you very
DJ
much
Ryke.
again, bro.
Appreciate you guys,
You're the best,
man.
bro.
Al,
Seriously.
T-Kid.
No,
Thank
seriously.
you. You can
This is
check
great.
us out every single Monday here on our Facebook at The Industry DJs, also on YouTube and Twitch at The Industry DJs. Check us out on your favorite streaming platforms: Apple, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, Stitcher, and the Anchor app. Next week, as we mentioned, we're gonna have Caveman on the show.
Yeah.
So
Great dude.
can't wait for that. Great
Awesome
dude,
dude.
yeah. So I have a lot of questions for Caveman
You'll have some good conversation.
it's gonna be an interesting conversation, and I'm gonna tell him. I don't know if he remembers the first time I met the man, but
I hope he doesn't.
shut up. but no, we're gonna have an interesting show next week with
Captain Caveman.
Oh,
Caveman.
dude, that was
Show
from
my
his old tape, yeah. That was his old drop, man. That was great. I love that.
So, alrighty. To the words of Peter Ramos, support your local DJs. To the words of I'll Do It Like This.
Stay vigilant, stay safe. We love you.
And we will see you guys next week. Have a good one, guys.
See ya.
Thanks a lot, Rock. Right.
Thank you.